Game on, everybody. We have Cloud9 versus OMG in the losers bracket here at the Chinese League. So in this case, we're currently looking at Cloud9 versus their opponents on the first map, which is Garden of Terror, the map choice of Cloud9 apparently. And the draft has started, so Cloud9 needs to win. And if they do, then they will advance, face Zero Gaming in the next round, and also have reached the top 4 of the tournament. So at this point, we have a ban on Mirrodin immediately. OMG also, of course, scouting a bit the last matches that Cloud9 played, and Caffeine preferred to really play Mirrodin whenever he got the chance to do that. Could still see that ban on Tyrande now for Cloud9. Khaldor is, of course, another option that they have here as well. There's a couple of strategies of how you can really go into a draft like this. You could, for example, say, okay, we're not going to ban out any of these two heroes, but instead we are going to at least pick one of them up. But the fear of Tyrande is definitely real, and in this case, we have Cloud9 now banning her out. As I was saying before, I personally really would love them to adopt the name against them, the troll named Cloud9, and appear in one of these booths with clowns' noses like red ones. That would be absolutely ridiculous. I would love that. Troll the trolls all day long. That would be pretty sweet. After the Tyrande ban, we saw an immediate pick on Khaldor, and that allows now the ETC and Uther combo for Cloud9. It's a choice that you can make, but you don't have to. We are also on the map where the Lost Vikings and Abathur are oftentimes being played. The last games, actually, that we have seen on this map featured bans on both the heroes because they're just so good for the experience soak. And Cloud9 have to make the decision pretty early, actually, because right now they have 2 picks before we are going back to OMG with a double pick and then into the bans. So if they really want to play something like this, they have to think about it and think hard. It's of course always a risk to pick the Lost Vikings into a Khaldor, but it's sometimes something that we still see because with the jump you can negate a lot of that pressure. But for now, they're going into a Jaina and into the ETC. So they let Uther go and can still ban him out, but with the Jaina they have solid damage, and it's basically that split again between the 2 mages that we now see in the game. OMG then with a Sonya commitment right away and a Sylvanas on top of that too. So once again we are in a situation where Sylvanas with that Wailing Arrow and also with the disable on all of those structures can really just help the push in general. We are in the second bans, and now it's really the question, are we going to see some bans on the Vikings, or will maybe one of these teams pick it up? On this map in particular, Vikings are very strong because the map is massive. You can soak a lot of experience and even take a few of the seats if you move in with the individual Vikings and take it. And it's going to be, I would love to see something like this happening here. As I said, the last time that we saw it in the Chinese League, these heroes were actually banned out. It is a Tyrael ban for now. Cloud9, they want to get their mosh pit on, and they want to also make sure that they have an opportunity with that Jaina to drop a target, and therefore they are not really a huge fan of Sanctification. And there's another threat as well, since OMG could use that Judgment with Wailing Arrow that was very popular in the Korean scene for a long time, and has been played in the Gold League as well. It's a very aggressive comp that you can use to snipe a target in the background, and if you get that snipe off, then of course you turn the fight into an early 4 versus 5, and that puts you in a very advantageous position starting the battle. So Abathur is being banned out by Cloud9. That also means that we have the Lost Vikings still available. But Abathur also banned because that Jaina is in play. And that means that there is an Uther out that he could take for Dunk Train. And that would then be the Mosh Pit uninterruptible thanks to the Divine Shield. So that's an option that Cloud9 has now if they want to play it. Abathur, that potential Jaina copy, eliminated because of the huge experience lead that you can get for your team, the global presence that you have, and the copy on Jaina herself. So all that Blizzard damage on a mosh pit. It's a bit too much for OMG. They don't really want to deal with this. So the American team now with their picks. As I said, we could see a pick like the Vikings, but personally I expect at least Uther to be taken now, so that they have that combo with the mosh pit. And there's still, of course, an opportunity if you take Uther to also go into a melee assassin, maybe run that Thrall again that we've already seen quite a few times here today, since he is just an absolutely amazing hero after the scaling changes. We have several builds for him: Chain Lightning build, Wind Fury build. There's a lot of shenanigans that you can actually do if you pick up that Thrall. Cloud9 is taking their sweet time here with their picks. They, of course, have to also think about what OMG is going to try and do. And OMG, they still need a frontliner, which makes it kind of likely that we could see that Johanna played by them. Leoric has also not been taken yet, and Leoric can be a huge asset on this map for you too. So yeah, but first of all, it's Cloud9. And Caffeine and Fan are already discussing what they're doing here. Uther, as predicted, is the choice. But they use Zagara together with Uther now. So Zagara, for now, is taken. Great pressure on the map. Good vision, of course, as well. So it's all about like having the map control. And then that last pick potential on the Vikings, on Thrall, on a lot of heroes that you can really run with this setup. OMG as I said, they need a frontliner, and they also need still a healer. So a Johanna might be their choice, Johanna or Leoric. Both of them are the likely choices in this case now, depending on what they play as a healer too. Oftentimes you see the team still with something along the lines of a Malfurion, but I don't really feel that it fits too well into the combo that OMG is playing. So chances are that we're going to see either a Rhaegar or maybe even that Karazim. There's an option to go into a Brightwing too, but the setup that they're running here is more catering towards Rhaegar or Karazim. Especially with Karazim, we could see the 7-sided strike as a bit of a countermeasure to ETC. If we're talking Rhaegar, that is the ancestral healing, and it is Leoric taken, and we have Rhaegar, and now Cloud9 with their last pick. And this is the map where you have a chance to just like shake things up a bit with the Vikings. Last time they were banned out, maybe they let them go, but Cloud9, they have the option to go for it. They have damage already, they have a frontliner, they have the hero to keep them alive with a Divine Shield. They could try and play that game here, and they are definitely discussing it. I can guarantee you that much. If they take them or not, doesn't really matter. They have a lot of options of what they could take instead. They can go into a false set at this point. They can go into a melee assassin still if they really want it. That Thrall is still an option for them. So there's a lot that they can do in a situation like this. Cloud9 with their last pick now before we head into game number 1 in this best of 5 series in the losers bracket of the Gold League. And yeah, they're taking their sweet time for this one. And it is a Nubarak instead. No Vikings, unfortunately for us. I would have loved to see a bit of a Viking play here today. But Cloud9 decided to go into a Nubarak over the potential melee assassin at the front line. And a Nubarak is seeing a bit more play. Especially in the European scene, a Nubarak is being played a lot. If you've been watching a couple of games that Na'Vi has played, probably realize that they are playing with the hero league the entire time, and they use Cocoon over the Locust Swarm to just isolate a target during the fights, and they are doing very well with this. At this point, 2.3 Garden Terrors per game on the side of OMG, 2.7 for Cloud9, so when it comes to the objective, they're doing a bit better than their opponents. We have only 3 games played, though, by Cloud9 on Garden of Terror, whereas OMG played the map 12 times in this season already. Not really the best track record then, on the other hand. 4 wins and 8 losses, so it's not really a strong map for OMG, but as I said again, Cloud9 sample size is pretty small, but this is of course starting the series up. Cloud9, they really struggle against the Taiwanese team that they faced the last round against AHQ, and they have to step it up a bit from that, but they look pretty rested, well refreshed, and now have of course a chance to just like start the series off with a victory here, and we're going to find out together if they can make that work. Again, I want to highlight that we are currently on a stream from the Chinese broadcaster. We got the permission to do that. I got the license for this, and we have therefore no in-game sound because the audio of course includes the Chinese like audio source as well, the Chinese casters, and therefore we are playing this without the in-game audio. We have also no control over the camera, and the quality is a little bit less from what you're used to on the channel because we, as I said, are relying heavily on of course that Chinese broadcast. The last times we struggled a bit with disconnects. I hope that this is not going to be an issue here today, but well, let's get this show on the road and the game started. We have game number 1 in the Gold League with Cloud9 all on the doubloons, dirty esports money wherever you look, everywhere here, spinning in circles, and we are gonna see some action. Already to the left side here with our boys Dungtrain, Caffeine Fan, K1 Pro, and iDream. We're seeing as the talents taken on a Nubarak, first of all, Regeneration Master. We have Conjurer's Pursuit for Uther. We are seeing the Reconstitution for Zagara, and of course utility talents for ETC, whereas Jaina is going into, well, either Lingering Chill or Deep Chill. It's still, Lingering Chill is much popular these days, but a couple of players still use Deep Chill. For example, Zuna playing for the Bob Ross fan club. He really likes to go into Deep Chill, even though the talent got nerfed in the last patch. We can't double check what exactly is going on there. So everybody expects Cloud9 to win, except for MS Joy, but everybody committing here to the 3-2, so playing it safe as a broadcaster is always good. That's the predictions, of course, of the casters here. The only one that expects to see OMG win is MS Joy, and everybody else sees the American team slightly ahead here. OMG, they placed 3rd in their group. It was Group A, and they had a pretty solid record there. 3 wins and 2 losses. Cloud9, of course, well, they struggled already against a few of those teams that were playing in Group A, and especially in comparison to the match that they played against AHQ, the Taiwanese team that also was out of Group A. They have to step it up, because AHQ, they came in 4th in Group A, and they kind of won nothing. They won 1 best of 3 out of 5 that they played, so they lost 4, and they really gave gave Cloud9 a run for their money and nearly took them down. So the American team, they have to step it up here. They're currently running up to the bot lane where we could see Sonya die. Nice zoning. Dream and Caffeine, they both actually missed their moves. And Sonya is no way is able to get away. The stuns don't hit. Sonya escapes. Zagara at the top lane was dropped though. So it is an early kill for OMG and Cloud9. They didn't even get Sonya down here at the bottom of the map. It's a little bit unfortunate, to be honest, because, well, they had the chance to just stun her out completely with the Danubarak and also with the ETC, but both of them missed the stun. And now, of course, the seeds are the more important objective to get on the map here. OMG hits the earlier level 4, and that gives us another win for Kelthas. And we have, at the same time, the Envenom on Sylvanas, Hardened Bones for Leoric. Cloud9 is going to hit the level 4 very soon as well, but for now they're actually just trying to get a couple of seeds. It's an even split at this point, but here comes the Feral Heart now for Rhaegar, who of course went into the mana reduction on his healing on level 1 and the focused attack for Sonya. Talking about the talents that we're seeing for Cloud9, the Ice Shard talent has been taken by Jaina, so most likely going to be, or the Frost Shards talent, so most likely it's going to be the Ice Lance on level. Nice, that's going to be a potential kill. Nah, the Gravity Lapse is saving Leoric for now, but Caffeine is still there. And now they go in to finish what they started. Leoric is down. That's a bit of experience. He's, of course, going to be back in no time. But yeah, so we have the Boundless Conviction for Uther. So currently we're seeing Dunk Train run this with a talent that allows him to just reach the front line a bit easier. Jaina is most likely going into the Ice Lance on level 7 after the Frost Shards here. And both of the teams are now again going for the additional seeds, especially up at the top lane where we see the American team moving in. But we have 520 starting to straight move in and try and steal a few of those away, which he successfully achieves. And at the bot lane is a very similar situation with Dream and Caffeine going straight for it. They go for Sonya, stun into stun, but it's a 4 versus 2. That spear didn't hit a Nubarak, so he was moving back in time. But the rest of the American team is now moving over for the kill, and they go straight for TQ, and the kill against Sonya. Well done here. And the plant also claimed. Or at least they will claim the plant if they move for it. Nice stun into stun against Kelthas. And yeah, he's surrounded and dropped. Nice double kill for Cloud9. 3 kills against 1 in their favor. And they also get all of the seeds, or at least the major part of them, from the first plant, the Garden Terror that was eliminated here. Overall, we still see OMG in a slight lead with the seed count. But Fan at the top lane is starting to push these lanes quite heavily. Both of those towers are already gone. So this time he's playing Zagara. We've seen him in nearly all of the games that they played before on Sylvanas, but now it is Zagara time. Ice Lance has been taken as the talent. Just keep rocking on well, we assume it's just keep rocking. It's the talent that makes the most sense in this case. It could, of course, also been the extra damage talent on ETC. So a couple of things that he could do, but usually it is just keep rocking as the Guitar Hero talent as level 7. We're having also the additional AoE damage for Nubarak, Urticating Spines, and maybe the kill against Dunk Train. Yeah, Uther down, can use the Ghost now to heal. K1 Pro on the move back, but Leoric is about to fall here. Great kill against him, but we have Sylvanas jumping in deep. Dream is also getting dropped. It's 2-for-1 now, but if they can get Sylvanas, and they do, then they at least have an even trade. But Caffeine is also dying, and K1 Pro, he moves in as well. I guess he could have even survived there, but he moved back in when Fan is trying to clean house right now against Iceman. And, well, it is actually a very even trade here, but if Zagara dies, then that will have been complete. Yeah, this is a complete turn against Cloud9. OMG, they take down enough heroes to equalize the kill count again. It's 6 kills against 6. Great play by them and experience. Both of the teams are roughly on the same level now. Cloud9 and OMG, they also split the seats more or less evenly. Slight lead for Cloud9. The American team here with still a pretty decent situation in the game itself, but Caffeine is already rotating down to the bottom, maybe trying to look for a kill against Sylvanas, as Dunk Train is also moving in. That's a lot of stuns that they have there. If they can lead it with Dream initiating the stun process and then ETC sliding in, that might be enough. No. Xiyu is moving away in time behind the gate. And yeah, pretty even game to start the series off, at least this far. Of course, things are going to change once we have the level 10 talents in play. But for now, it's looking pretty solid for both of them. Austin's Renewal, by the way, the talent on Leoric as a level 7 talent. So we don't see him with the Paralyzing Rage nor the Ghastly Reach. We have the Unstable Poison for Sylvanas, Cleanse on Rhaegar, and the Fission Bomb for Kelthas. Of course, going into that Chain Bomb build. One of the few heroes, or one of the few players that we have seen with a different build was actually Faye in the North American scene just recently, and she tried to go for a Gathering Power build with a Flamethrower on level 13 and then the double Flame Strike on level 16, which worked surprisingly well because you can stay very safe and keep those Gathering Power stacks, so that was extremely well played by her. I would love to see the build a bit more often because the damage output was quite significant and it felt like it could be an alternative to the Chain Bomb build, but that's something of course that we might see in the future. For now, we have the level 10s in play for the two teams, and that gives us the Locust Swarm on the side of Anubarak, so we don't have Cocoon, no 8-second CC during the fights, the Mosh Pit, we have Water Elemental, Maw, and Divine Shield. So that Divine Shield Mosh Pit composition going to be very crucial once again. We have up at the top lane OMG Leorix with also Entomb chosen, a very popular talent to take, especially in the Chinese scene. The American scene is also favoring Entomb highly over the March of the Black King, which is the dominant talent on the European scene. So there's quite a bit of changes in the way that the meta is running for the different regions. As a solo tank at the front line, it's always a bit of a risk to run Entomb because, of course, he doesn't have that sustain that March of the Black King gives you, but we have still that Sonya at the front line as well, and that helps. And of course, an Ancestral Healing is always a pretty good tool to make sure that your frontliner doesn't die instantly. Nice pressure play up at the top now as we are seeing the entire team moving in. And again, as the lag on the stream, Cloud9 streams, they never fail to produce these mini lags here, and that's a bit annoying for us. So guys, I'm going to try and double check if we can maybe go on a different stream here instead. But yep, Cloud9 games, they never disappoint. It's always lags happening in these cases, but we have another stream that we can just try and double check. So let's take it from here. We have already the counter play at the top, so not really too much happening as you can see, but they are moving in. So 6 kills against 6. We didn't really miss anything. When we started lagging, we had to push against the top lane left, but Cloud9, they rotated over and started to push the right side now. Again, the stream is dropping here. That stupid panda is trying to be cute. You're not cute, dude. You're just annoying. And Cloud9, seriously, like their games, they never disappoint. It's always lagging. We had a perfect game before for the team that played in the previous match. Not a single lag there, but once that Cloud9 starts playing, yeah, you make sure that there is a massive amount of lags happening. And okay, streams are not back. We have this one at least in action, so we can jump into the game and hope that it's going to stay stable. As you can see on the board, no kills missed, 6 versus 6, Night has fallen, the teams are going for a plant each. Top plant is moving in for OMG on the top lane. In the middle, we are seeing the one for Cloud9, and again that panda trying to be cute here with that bamboo. So, well, come on buddy, you're really cute and I love that you're there, but do me a favor and just go away. Yeah. Once more, the lags and the frustration is real. They discovered a salt mine where I live, and guess who's the owner? Indeed, it's me. Stream back to business. Come on, dude, you can do it. Come on, Panda, give us the game. Thank you very much. Didn't even miss anything. So they're going straight in, 13 versus 13, and this is getting a little bit silly. Can we maybe get the other stream back? Other stream shows a black picture. That's of course awesome as well. So nothing that happens over here. This one is still trying to reconnect too. We have the reconnect and let's jump straight there. And as I say, I don't want to jump in. We have immediately again that stupid little panda. Guys, you have no idea how frustrating it is. This is really starting to piss me off quite significantly. Finally, we have that stream back. That's a little bit more stable. Every time Cloud9 is playing, we have these issues. It's only the Cloud9 games. I'm not even kidding. In the other games, we have an occasional lag for a second or two, but if Cloud9 plays, there's always just streams dropping all along, and no way. Is it going to really happen again? Oh, the slideshow is strong with this one. Oh, dude, like, come on. Still no kills that we missed, and well, we have one fort eliminated in the mid lane, so Cloud9 and OMG both on level 14 now. The talents on 13 that we saw are Shrink Ray, we have a Mutalisk, there's also, I suppose it's the Showstopper that has been taken as the talent on ETC as a level 13, so after he slides in damage reduction, and considering that he is of course one of those pivotal characters that it really a lot hinges on, it makes sense for him to go into that talent. Icy Veins has been the talent on level 13 for Jaina, and we're seeing at the same time a Nubarak now with a Burning Rage for a bit of additional damage, whereas on the side of the opponent's team, it is the Evasive Fire. We are seeing teams rotate around again, but as it seems, we had a bit of a better position for OMG during that seed night, since they are now in a situation where they get the second plant. There's not a single hero that died before that happened, but as you can see right now, we have the plant moving straight through the mid lane, and again the lag on the stream. I mean, for the love of God, like what on earth is going on there? Here we are, back to business. 15 versus 15, plant in the middle. The circle of death is again spinning, and it's spinning hard. Spin faster, little circle. Spin, spin, spin. Oh, like, yeah, the salt level that we have on the stream right now has reached 9,000. I can tell you that much. Salt over 9,000, and the circle of death is back again. Maybe the other stream is by now a little bit more stable. I really wish it was, but yes, we have at least a picture on this one. So let's try it again and hope that the panda is finally gone. No kills yet. You didn't miss any kills. I really apologize for the problems here. It's always those Cloud9 games that are being annoying. But we have now the plant in the middle for Team OMG. They have level 16 first, and with that, we are seeing now the cold embrace. They're going straight into the two crushing hope titans. Nice lockdown against ETC. He's of course trying to push him back. The Maw as a counter, very effective here. We have Sylvanas jumping in deep to put a bit of pressure on Fan, and the rotation is happening again there, with especially Leoric starting to really drop in HP, and they kill him. They take Leoric down, kill number 7, so we are back in time with the stream just for our next kill. The plant is nearly eliminated, but Cloud9 still has not reached the level 16 talent yet, and that is of course another big problem. Once again, up at the top, here's the fight raging again. Leoric's going to be back in no time. We have the attack though happening against Kel'Thas. That Ancestral League was not enough, and a double kill. Cloud9 gets the triple kill overall, and they lose still Jaina, but it looks like Sonya is going to pay for that insolence with her life as well. Sonya about to drop, and now Leoric might be in a pretty awkward spot there. Immediately we have Dream going straight. iDream is going straight for Sylvanas, but eventually she's going to get away. Leoric on the other hand, he might still fall here, because he is not in the cooldown for Wraithwalk, and there's the stun combo, and goodbye Leoric once again. 11 kills against 7 now in favor of Cloud9. They take the lead in experience. It's a slight lead, but it's there, and as night has fallen, they focus on those seeds once again and are starting to take them. Alright, so we just came back in time for the action and didn't really miss anything of that. That at least is pretty cool, but now it's just like seed time once again, and well, iDream needs to be careful, but he should have just enough mana to get out of there, and yes, uses the burrow charge to just charge away. Bot lane is already being claimed, and Cloud9 has the first plant. If they get all of those seeds now, then they will have 2 plants in a row. That would of course be that would be the dream. That would be the dream in this situation if you get a double plant. We're already seeing up at the top lane OMG going for a few seats on their own. But here comes the first plant. They only have 5 additional seats though, so it's never going to be enough for them to go for a double plant here. They could at least deny to their opponent. That's something that they can try and do right now. Deny the plant to the opponent. Make sure they don't get more seats. The panda is trying to be cute again. Panda, hop away. Seriously. It's a cute panda. It's like, hey, your stream is lagging, but at least have a cute panda and be happy. I like the cute panda, I like the sentiment, but I'm not happy about it. So, level 17 versus 17, we're back to business. Leoric is already there, and ETC, the plant, yes, there comes the polymorph seed. So they're trying to zone as much as they can. If they can deny the plant, that would be a win right there. Ancestral Healings helping Sonya out, and we have the rotation happening again, just like moving away from the plant, rotating towards the fort at the bot lane. But the kill against Sonya again, and Leoric is also in trouble, but he survives, as iDream is starting to follow up with that polymorph seed, going straight for Kel'Thas. No! Why is it lagging again? Get away! Yes, the more... What? That was a big jump. Kel'Thas is dead, and so is Leoric, so all of a sudden 2 more heroes are dead. We didn't even see anything. I guess I take it. I mean, they are dead, and that's already good. I don't really, like, I kind of care how, but, well, we saw Kel'Thas die, more or less. He got Maud, and if that Maw is hitting you, then, of course, you already wish you all would be dead, and yeah, in that case, that wish was granted. As the 16 talents, we had Speed Metal taken on ETC as the talent, and we have now the Brood expansion after Mutalisk for Zagara, Benediction for Uther, and it's probably going to be, well, Numbing Blast or Northern Exposure here for Jaina. We can't double check. Nubarak went into the Blood for Blood, and of course on the side of OMG we are having now the tidal waves for Rhaegar. We see the full crushing and unyielding despair build on the side of Leoric with Arcane Barrier as the final talent, or the 16 talent at least for Kelthas after the chain bombs. Nerves of Steel for Sonya, the Cold Embrace, we've talked about that already, and Cam taken solo. Takes ages if you only have the Sylvanas around, so Kelthas is thankfully moving in and helps out. Cloud9, on the other hand, they are close to level 20, and the American team is having a very solid lead now in this game. And with that level 20, they would be able to use their Storm talents to maybe drop one of those keeps. That's, of course, always the objective that you have. If you take the lead early on with the 20 talents, try to capitalize on it. Once it's 20 versus 20, it will be a fight on eye level throughout the entire game, so you need to make sure that you really get an advantage out of that early level 20 talent. And they are trying to do that by taking down Sonya first. Nice approach here. 15 kills against 7. We have one hardened shield. We have Bolt of the Storm taken 3 times on ETC, Jaina, and Zagara, and the redemption on Uther to bring him back to life. Rhaegar, by the way, is on the run right now, and he's detected by all of those creep tumors. You can run, but you can't hide, dude, and they are gonna get him. They really want him. The Rhaegar hate is real. They rotated everybody around to get that kill. Now we have level 20 versus 19 still in play. 60 versus 80 seats. The night has not been announced yet, but if it is going to get announced in a few seconds, then they will get a massive lead out of this, because they should be able to take the majority of seats. And before that even happens, they are now trying to capitalize on the 20 by going straight in and dropping at least the wall, if not the keep itself. Sonya is dead for another 6 seconds and Rhaegar for another 30. And without the healer in play, good luck trying to save this one, especially, of course, since we have very few zoning abilities for OMG in this case, and they are going in. They're going to go for the keep, and they should try and take it. With 20 seconds on Rhaegar, it's a great position for them to be in. OMG can't initiate into this one. They could try, but without a healer, I mean, what are they going to do? Oh, Kelthas is getting attacked again, and they go for a Ripper. There's the Maw, but still Caffeine needs to get out. Kelthas is dead, though. The keep has fallen. Dream will die, but it doesn't really matter. It was totally worth it. A 1-for-1 and the keep, that's worth it in any game. But, well, they start losing more heroes. That Jaina death is not really too tricky just yet. But Dunk Train, if he dies, that would be annoying. He doesn't have the Divine Shield anymore. He can heal himself, but he's going to be slowed, and they are going to take him to... Dream moving to the bottom after he went deep. That was maybe a bit of a mistake. Now the counterplay here, losing 3 heroes. Is a little bit tricky, but Uther, of course, will be back, and he is already, thanks to the redemption. As long as they can save the keep here, it is still going to be worth it. The problem that they have is that the night has now been announced, so they should have maybe been content with just going for the opponent's keep and not trying to kill the heroes here. The cute panda is back once again and is bouncing the television off that rod. And, well, with 15 seconds, come on, you can speed that up a little bit, my friend. We know that you can do that. Hop, hop, hop a little bit faster. I'm going to double check the other stream that I have. Try, because nothing is really happening over here. This one is also not showing anything. Come on, guys. One of those streams has to give me a picture. 15% still. Panda, don't be annoying. Oh, do you see a picture? From 15 down to 0%. You got to be shitting me. Next stream is also showing just a black picture, nothing else. Why is that Cloud9 curse such a thing? Like, seriously, every single time Cloud9 is playing, these things happen. There we go, we have a picture back. It was a triple kill that we saw against OMG. We're level 21 versus 21. It's still 60 seats for Cloud9, and in the meantime, OMG was able to collect enough seats to get a plant, but now it could be the core go, and they have 5 heroes to go for core. Cloud9 is trying to finish this game. They got a triple kill. It's 21 kills against 10 at this point, and with that recent kill now against Kelthas, it looks very much like this game is going to end up in the hands of Cloud9. The American team goes in the best of 5 here and claims victory on the first map, Garden of Terror, and they take the core, finish the game, and GG, well played. Even a bit of a mosh pit action here at the end. Cloud9 with the victory in the first game of the evening. Sky Temple is map number 2, and well, we had already a few problems with that nasty panda again. It's really frustrating. I mean, I upload mostly the Cloud9 matches onto the YouTube channel, right? So if you only watch the YouTube games, then you have only seen these lag issues. The really astonishing thing is that every time we cast the China versus China games, there's no lag whatsoever, and it's just like a smooth ride all the way long. But now, when Cloud9 is playing, it's again the same problem. I really hope that in the game 2 we are not going to experience these issues again, but well, fingers crossed. Cloud9 in the lead against OMG, so they look pretty solid on the first map. Sky Temple is now the map choice of OMG, and we're going into the draft again with Cloud9 having first pick and first ban, so we're going to start with that in just a second. Could be a ban on, well, they've actually banned out Tacita a fair amount of times. If they themselves would like to go into a Tyrande, they could also simply go for a ban on Kelthas right now and then see how OMG is going to deal with this. Cloud9 sometimes also heading in a ban on ETC as one of the first ones if they're trying to break up that Uther and ETC combo, which is still, of course, a possibility for the opponent's team. Right now we have a Jaina banned though, so that leaves Tyrande and Kelthas still available. So if now OMG bans out Tyrande or Kelthas, Cloud9 is going to get the other hero and will therefore have one of the best damage dealers or a really good part of that sniper comp. And that is already a bit of a nasty start. So Cloud9 with a very smart choice here, at least when it comes to the damage setup. Of course, it would also result in OMG most likely going to take Muradin. But no, Muradin is being banned out and Cloud9 can take Tyrande. They can take Tyrande now. If they want her, at least that is. Muradin has been banned out. If you play Tyrande, you would love to play either Diablo or ETC with that. OMG, if Tyrande is picked, would most likely go into Kelthas and add ETC to that. At least I would personally do it to deny ETC to the Tyrande composition. That would probably be a smart move. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. So far, Cloud9 hasn't even committed to a Tyrande. They could still go into that Kelthas instead. There's also Zagara to consider, which is very strong on this map and is starting to gain popularity again throughout the servers, but especially when we're talking about the North American server. Cloud9 has been in China for quite some time, so they're adopting a bit more the Chinese meta right now. But it's definitely something that they could do here as well, going to an early Zagara on this map. They already played her in the last game. Fan usually prefers Sylvanas from what we could tell in the last matches, but Zagara is still a hero where he's very strong as well. He got the MVP in the last game too. So right now, discussion on the side of Cloud9, what they want to go for. It's a bit tricky actually. I mean, you have very solid heroes that you can take, but also you will end up with giving your opponent a very strong hero either way, no matter what you do. Either the Tyrande or the Kelthas. We're talking ETC, also Uther with the Divine Shield. There's quite a lot of stuff that's happening right now and that you have to really talk about. And yeah, that Jaina ban, maybe not working out the same way they were hoping for. It's also that immediate like Muradin ban against Caffeine again. Like Cloud9 has been playing with Muradin whenever they got an opportunity. They have prioritized the pick over anything else in so many of their matches. And they decide to let Tyrande go. And instead we have Cloud9 with that Kelthas. OMG gonna pick Tyrande. Very likely that we're going to see an ETC with that or an Uther. So Tyrande and ETC would be something that I would really kind of like because there's the ETC. Do they let Tyrande go? No. Okay, so ETC Tyrande. Okay, as kind of expected. And the Panda donated $6. Dude, thank you very much for the support, and I agree with you already. End that Panda's life. Might be cute, but still.
Nick the Mayor should visit this panda.
Yeah, Nightmare should really visit the Panda. So, it's the Panda of Death. I don't know what's worse, the Circle of Death or the Panda of Death. The annoying thing is that the panda actually looks cute while being annoying, and you can't even you know, like it's like this girl that you date, and she has that how is that? Does it translate? Do you know this look that girls sometimes have? Like go like, please, and you can't be angry with them, and it's super annoying. That's exactly what that panda does. You are angry with the panda, but at the same time, it looks so cute that you are really like, you just want to pat it and hug it. So yeah. This is like this first girlfriend that we all had that knew that look perfectly and how to pull it off. My first girlfriend was like that. Oh God, was that annoying. Like she did something, you were really mad about it, and then she looked at you like this and was like, and you're like, hey, stop that. I'm really angry with you. All right, I'll buy you another pair of shoes or something. Yeah, side stories aside, we have Leoric taken together with an Uther. So Uther, first of all, of course, denying that potential combo with the Divine Shield and another stun to OMG. Leoric for the map now, also catering towards those needs quite nicely. We have the bans starting to happen. And, well, OMG... I'm a little bit surprised that Cloud9 actually didn't even go for that they locked down Leoric this hard. I really thought they would go into Sylvanas or Zagara, which could be potential bans on the side of OMG now. But with both of the heroes still around, OMG could now ban one of them out and take the other one. Especially Zagara would be pretty good for them, I'd say, and they ban her out as I mentioned it, because I think that Maw would have comboed quite nicely with that stun on Tyrande and also, of course, ETC himself. I could see Sylvanas ban for Cloud9, actually. Tyrael, then again, I mean, Sanctification together with the Mosh Pit is pretty nasty as well. So you could try to ban out Tyrael. Sylvanas would be a solid ban. I guess that Cloud9 would like to pick up Sonya in this case now, thanks to the Divine Shield that they have, or a Thrall. Like, both of those would be really nice at the front line. Okay. I mean, you could ban out the Tacita, I suppose, but I don't really feel you have to. I would really rather ban Sylvanas out, or, of course, as I already mentioned, that Tyrael for the ETC combo that you can't try to deny. And they ban out Sonya. Okay, so they are a bit afraid that OMG might go into the Sonya. I mean, fair enough. I thought they would hope that they could get her through, but now OMG is very likely to go into one of the heroes that I expected to be banned, at least one of them. So would be surprising me quite a bit if we didn't see that now. I mean, ETC and Tyrande combo pretty well with all kinds of damage. You try to get that stun into stun setup overall. And with this now, we could see definitely the Sylvanas being played as well on top of it, since that silence, of course, is going to be great in a situation like this. It also helps you to push down the structures even more. You could see with this combination also a Tacita, if you want to play a double support with Tyrande and Tacita, that can be quite nasty as well. So there's quite a few ways of how OMG can play this. Reyna hasn't been taken either. We don't have a false set in play yet. So if you're looking at like direct damage dealers with auto attacks, then these two heroes, they are also quite strong and could be taken here on top of what we already see. So OMG, they could use those now. But I could still see like a melee assassin for Cloud9. I mean, they have the opportunity to do that. Tyrande is also going to be a nice target for no matter what melee assassin you play. If you have that Divine Shield, since you can always try and get her down first. But there is the false stat, Global Presence, and the auto attack damage, and they go for both of them. Wow, they are doing nothing half-assed here. They're going for both of these immediately. And Cloud9 now, with a potential melee assassin pick. They have, by the way, also the option to go for a Tyrael here, just saying. Like, they could use Tyrael together with Leoric if they want to go into a second frontliner. Personally, I'm a huge fan of having Leoric together with a second tank, but as they run Uther, they have the means to keep Leoric alive. After level 16, Benediction for the double heals is pretty strong, and of course you have the Divine Shield as a bit of a panic button anyways. A bit more damage is something that they desperately need too, and that's where we could see Sylvanas also coming in play. Sylvanas is one of the damage dealers that is still available. I mean, we had a ban on Zagara, we had a ban on Sonya and on Jaina, so a lot of the damage dealers have been banned out. So if you are talking damage, then right now your options are really limited. A Vala would be a choice that you can add here, and you have of course then also with a potential multi-shot build or an arrow build, nice control over the shrine fights or the temple fights as well, so that definitely works. Vala would probably be a good asset. Sylvanas also quite strong here, has that silence that offers utility during the team fight on top of everything else. But yeah, definitely like a setup where Cloud9 has to think about how aggressive they want to play here. Do they want to have a second frontliner? Then they would probably be well advised to go into something along the lines of a Tyrael, even though they could decide to go into the Anubarak again. Because right now, in terms of stuns against the ETC Mosh Pit, they only have the Gravity Lapse and the stun on Uther if he's fast enough to get that in. If they use, for example, Anubarak and they use Cocoon instead the Locust Swarm, they can have a very nice tool to just interrupt ETC. Even the stuns on Anubarak alone already do the trick. You don't have to go into Cocoon. You already have the stun amount to really make sure that ETC doesn't get that Mosh Pit through. So interrupts would be quite nice for them. And with that frontliner, they could then decide to go into a second damage dealer. And then we're talking again about Sylvanas or Vala. I suppose that really like these four heroes, Anubarak, Tyrael, Vala, and Sylvanas, is what currently is on their mind. There is a chance to go into Tacita, but I don't really see the need. There's the Tyrael, okay, and the Sylvanas, all right. And therefore also the potential to go Judgment into Wailing Arrow. It's not really a very common option that we have. We saw it in the Korean scene for quite some time. We have seen it in this season of the Chinese League as well. But I'm still mentioning it because it's something with what you can, for example, you can use it to drop a false stat, to drop at Tyrande. You can get easy kills on those two. Reyna not so much because of the Give Me More, his passive, and potential level 1 talent. So you have to be careful with that. But there is definitely the opportunity for Cloud9 to use those and be more aggressive than they usually would be. And we're going to see if they really try to do that. We need... Oh, Zeratul for OMG. All right. They go for Zeratul here. There's very little vision that we have for Cloud9. There's like no vision whatsoever, actually. Zeratul is going to be played, and that's going to be quite some fun setup as well. So let's see how Zeratul is going to work out for them. Cloud9 is already in the lead. This is a best of 5 series that we have at the Gold League. Once again, we do not have any in-game sound, of course, because we're relying on the Chinese broadcast here, and that means that the audio also includes the Chinese commentators, so we have no real means of listening to that. But we have the map score again with a bit of a lead here for especially OMG. It's their map win, so the map choice as well. But both of the teams don't really have a stellar record on Sky Temple by any means. 25% win ratio against a 40% win ratio here. But 15 games played on the map by OMG. Surprises me a bit that Cloud9 has only played 4 games here, because when we're looking at the North American scene, Sky Temple is being played over and over again there. It's one of the most popular maps that they actually have on this server. Cloud9 here, well, Caffeine, he's happy. So currently they are looking strong. They have the 1-0 lead in the series. If they win here again, they would be in the top 4 already. When we're looking at OMG, I look a little bit worried. And yeah, starting to concentrate here, I suppose. So guys, game is going to start any second now, and then we're going to find out if Cloud9 can maybe even turn this into a 2-0 at the beginning of the match, or if, of course, OMG is able to tie the series up. Our map is Sky Temple. We have still the second map coming in, and the match is already about to start. So yeah, let's check out if Cloud9 can take it here. Second set in the best of 3 series at the Gold League in China. Cloud9 with their preparations also for WCA. And of course, the league is going to be continued tomorrow and the day after. So these are the last final days, and Cloud9, they could be part of it. So we're going to go into our match, and we have already the game starting. Well, somebody screwed up his mount. Look at iDream there. What did he do? Going for a tiger. Everybody else is on the carpet. Only Dream screwing it up, and they burn him to the ground immediately. So yeah, he gets blamed for that. Somebody didn't really pay attention. So in this case, we have also the Seraphim skin on the side of Tyrael. I'm really loving that. I got that when the sales actually hit, because I think in-game it looks absolutely brilliant. We have in terms of talents, I will focus at the right side of the map first, where we have now the opponent with like mixed mounts at this point. We're seeing Seasoned Marksman. We have also, again, the level 1 talent for the like double neck guitar is going to be level 4 talent, but it's all about the power slide right now. Double Seasoned Marksman, actually, as Foresight goes into the same talent. Zeratul hasn't really chosen one just yet. Oh, but it looks like we could see a kill against ETC if they dive hard for this one. Zeratul has started to really jump into the backline here and try to do a bit of damage, but had to move away as well. He still hasn't chosen his first talent. We're seeing the Mana Addict for Kel'Thas, Reanimation for Leoric, extra damage against heroes with that Purge Evil talent on Tyrael on level 1. And wow, Ripper going way too deep there. Cooldown reduction now for Zeratul on his level 1 talent, so he goes straight into a cooldown reduction for the blink, and with that he will be a little bit more mobile during these fights. But of course, I'm personally curious to see what he chose on what he's going to choose on level 4. Master Warblade is one of the most popular talents, so that your third order attack against the same target does a bit more damage, and it's pretty sweet. You can actually get good auto attack damage off of this. But yeah, rotations are happening. Bot lane, Tyrael against Zeratul right now. So Zeratul is laning in the early stage of the game here. It's not like he's playing with the Seasoned Marksman or anything, so he doesn't really have to get those stacks. The top lane, that's where Leoric is currently trying to take a stand against Falstad. Successfully at that. We have the 1-0 in the series here. And well, fingers are crossed that we also don't encounter the Panda of Death this time, or the Circle of Death, like both of them are, of course, the enemies of the enemies of any streamer out there. But so far, things are actually looking still pretty sweet. So we have K1 Pro, Dunk Train, and also Fan starting to move for the first temple up into the top lane. Falstad is in a bit of trouble as Leoric was moving in against him. But still, the fight is starting over here, and we have a 4 versus 3 in the middle of the map, since Zeratul is still at the bottom of the map, trying to get the experience on lane. Is now just starting to rotate over. Shots are taken by both of the teams. Top temple hasn't even been attacked yet at all. And level 4 talents will hit a bit faster for OMG, and so far Cloud9 is a little bit struggling here. TQ is moving in from behind, wants to go for Fan apparently, and no, they go straight for the attack against Kel'Thas, and down he goes. Kel'Thas is dead, iDream gone, and now they are moving in again, trying to get a second kill. Fan is moving out of harm's way though, and Caffeine, wow, in the last second jumps in, and that Tyrande Owl could have killed him, but Dunk Train is literally taking a bullet for his friend here. 4 talents for both of those teams, and it is gathering power. We're going to keep tabs on how many kills Zeratul is going to get here, so no Master Warblade for him. High risk, high reward talent taken now for Zeratul. So if you die, you lose all of that extra damage, but of course, if you get those kills in, then you are going to get significant amounts of damage, 2% per level. Good kill against Zeratul, and Ripper is also getting ripped apart, this time by the Guardians on the Temple. A nice double kill for Cloud9, and that of course resets all the potential extra damage already to 0. Look at that! It's a donation, a free Tyrande on the map, and hell yeah, they take that. Nice, it's an early Christmas present, and of course Cloud9 is happy about that. So nice by OMG. Sending Tyrande into die. Well, we have now with the level 4 talents Amplified Healing after the Purge Evil for Tyrael. We're still seeing Envenom for Sylvanas and the Hardened Bones for Leoric. And besides that, we have Power Throw for good old Falstad. And the Secret Weapon is going to be his next talent. The teams are starting to claim experience on lanes again, and Cloud9 has that slight lead that will give them the earlier level 7 talent if they play it right. But still, of course, Zeratul trying to rotate on the map. Now that talent here with the extra 2%, just highlighted by our Chinese observer here, is of course pretty sweet if you get a lot of kills. And you don't have to get the kills themselves. It's absolutely fine if you participate in the takedown. So you don't have to go for the last hit. And we've seen a lot of Nova play because of that on the North American server. Nova actually by a few of the teams played quite regularly right now. Look at the Murloc Geniuses, for example. And they have some games where they got up to 20 to 30% extra damage and were able to just like save Nova throughout the game and get incredible amounts of damage out there. For now, Zeratul is going on level 7 into the first 8, which will allow him to have a bit more sustain. But he doesn't have any additional stacks just yet. He's always around though, trying to wait for an opportunity to increase the damage amount that he can bring to the table. Fission Bomb taken. Leoric either going into the Paralyzing Rage or Ghastly Reach. Unfortunately, we can't double check that now. But yep, we're gonna probably find out during one of these fights what he's gonna go for. Well, for now, they're gonna go for Falstad, and Falstad is falling, and another kill for Cloud9. They're looking much stronger today than they looked against AHQ. They seem to have really a bad day against AHQ in general. The Taiwanese team was one of the weaker ones in Group A, and Cloud9 struggled a lot going up against them. That style didn't suit them at all. But now against OMG, they are looking much more solid. I mean, of course, they haven't really won this game yet or anything, but still, the way that they present themselves here, this is a much better performance than what they showcased against the Taiwanese team. So once again, rotations happening. Top lane pressure, by the way. We're having Tyrael in a bit of trouble against Zeratul there, but he's still pushing straight for that fort, trying to take the structure down, as we see Dream getting more experience here now as well. And they, of course, start to move in for the camps. Both of the teams are. But Cloud9 is very close to level 10 now, and as long as they keep Tyrael still in play, Tyrael dying, and that's 2 extra damage points for Zeratul now. So Zeratul is already at plus 2 extra damage that he can use. Not really a whole lot, but of course the whole idea of gathering power is really to just like maintain that, stay alive, and use it in the later stages of the game to dish out damage. The problem with it is that oftentimes if you die, then later on you lose all of that extra damage and you become not quite useless, but a lot weaker than you want to be. Pressure against the fort already. The level 10 has been hit, and that's Entomb again for the solo. No, actually that's solo tank. Is it going to be Judgment or Sanctification? You can really tell that Tyrael is waiting for a chance to choose one of the talents. With Wailing Arrow, you can use Judgment to jump in straight away, but Sanctification is also a great talent to take. So there's quite a few options of what we could see right now from Tyrael, especially since that Tyrande and the backline is, of course, a very juicy target if you really want to go for it. We have Void Prison now chosen, and next to that, it's Mighty Gust, Shadowstalk, Mosh Pit, and also the Hyperion. And still no talent for Tyrael. We could actually see that taken during the fight. With a quick pick, with using those control keys, you can just instantly pick a talent with just like one hit of a button, and it is not going to be the Judgment. It's a little bit sad. Judgment builds are so much fun because they're so hyper-aggressive, but of course Cloud9, they really want to play this safe, so they go for Sanctification, which is a great talent to be taken. But talking Tyrael, he's again in a bit of trouble there, but Druid's Might allows him to jump away, already Entomb used, but Dream misses the Entomb. We still have the lag on stream, and I hate my life. Dunk Train is being attacked now too, and there is again the Hyperion. The stream is just stuttering, and they took down Zeratul. They were able to take down Zeratul. That means that he lost those 2 extra points that he was able to secure for himself earlier. So Zeratul is back down to 0 extra damage. That is pretty cool. That's exactly what Cloud9 wants here. Try and take him down as much as they can, so that really helps. Dream is now moving in with the rest of the team into the mid lane, and they are working on that well already. So Cloud9 still in the lead. They are by 1 level ahead. It's a really solid performance here by them today. But ETC moves in, tries to go for the mosh pit. The stream is lagging once again. We're not seeing anything, but ETC is not easing cooldown. It got interrupted, but they get the kill against Leoric. Zeratul is with them, so he got the extra damage. There's a second kill. He's on 4% as we speak. A double kill against Cloud9. And that was a sweet move for OMG. They are on level 12. They are starting to close the gap in experience. And Zeratul is on plus 4% damage now. The boss move immediately by OMG. Wow. Super aggressive here. Dream is moving in. He sees it coming, but he can't do anything about it. I mean, he's moving in right now. Once again, the stream is lagging. We have a bit of a problem there, but Dream is already moving back away. And the boss is, of course, taken by OMG right now. And they take it, using that lag quite cheekily to secure that boss. Once again, we have now the temples up, one at the top lane, the other one down to the bottom of the map, and the boss going straight for that wall, assisting, of course, that extra objective damage that we see for OMG now. And they are very close to taking over. Inexperienced, nice! The zone against ETC! And the cow is down. Well done. Burgers for breakfast. That's what we're going to see here. Level 13 talent, also a bit faster, and this means Shrink Ray. We have the imposing will. They go for the Mighty Gust. OMG is zoning them out again. And now the boss is still on point, on target. He's going straight for the fort, but it's going to be defended against. So they're going to take this one down, and yep, there it is. Boss is eliminated, and we still see the temple shooting, this time into the mid lane. Falstad is flying up to the top, trying to secure some shots for his own team, as now the level 13 talents are finally ready for OMG as well, which gives us Wormhole on the hands of Zeratul, Giant Killer for Falstad. We have now the Showstopper taken by ETC, and the double barreled for Reyna, with Tyrande actually waiting because she could take Overflowing Light or could go into Sprint, which is very popular on the Chinese realm too. Again, Ripper has to move away here, but the potential kill against Fan is dashing away. Zeratul is also moving out there. Already Sanctification has been chosen, and now as the Phoenix is being applied, we have at the same time Mighty Gust to push everybody away. But at the bottom of the map, Leoric is still doing Leoric things. He's in position now to just like take down these waves, get experience for his team, and we have nearly level 15 for Cloud9 now, but the temple is still being fought over, and Leoric is on his way up to the top lane. They're trying to secure those shots. They had still Zeratul lingering around, but were able to detect him and push him back. Dunk Train is there. They want to go for the temple. Leoric is with them, so now they can start to jump in the back line. Still ETC, and well, there we have the stun against Dunk Train and K1 prone Dunk Train, both rather low, but the Shrink Ray against Zeratul forces him back. Once again, the Mighty Gust, and here comes Zeratul. He has 4% extra damage, uses immediately his Void Prison to start the setup, but Phoenix is now also in play, and it's a kill. Oh, Dunk Train is already down. Oh, Leoric dies too. 8% extra damage on Zeratul now. They were able to get one counter kill at least, but they're still attempting to go for Zeratul if they can kill him. No, he blinks away. So Zeratul is on 8% extra damage at this point. We have level 15.5 versus level 14 in favor of Cloud9. The earlier level 16 talent is going to give them a lead throughout this game. But especially with now Fan in the mid lane, he can of course just like burst these waves away. The rest of the team is starting to rotate down to the bottom of the map to secure a bit more experience and finally enable them to get level 16 here, which will be a massive lead over OMG, especially of course since they could try to go for a couple of objectives here. Once again, we are really heavily relying on that Chinese stream here, and you can really tell we have a few issues with that, especially since the quality is also a bit shaky. I apologize for that, but it's the only way that we can get a glimpse into the Chinese scene and the way that Cloud9 plays here. So yeah, my apologies for that, but it's the only way that we can deal with all of this. 16 talents now. Cold Embrace. We have the Arcane Barrier, Imposing Presence for Leoric, Holy Ground for Tyrael, and the Benediction on the side on Uther. So that should really make them a bit safer against also Zeratul, and of course threaten Zeratul as well, especially with that Cold Embrace. And talking Zeratul, he is, that cooldown reduction on level 1 really saved him now, didn't it? So yeah, they can still save those 8% extra damage on Zeratul, and he is able to escape here. But the teams are rotating in again for the 2 temples that are about to be activated. OMG should be able to secure the level 16 talent for themselves before the fights start. And that's, well, that would be at least putting them on the same level as Cloud9. Cloud9 is already rushing in for ETC. They want the kill there. Caffeine is waiting. And Dream, well, he doesn't want to chase too much, I suppose. 16 versus 16 now, with a penetrating round upgraded thanks to the bullseye. Speed medal for ETC, Cloud9, rending cleave for Zeratul, by the way, and hammer time for Falstad. Whereas Tyrande went into sprint and now into the true shot aura. But once again, we have OMG moving in. The Chinese team is trying to really start the setup here and start the team fight. It's a 5 versus 5 situation. Everybody is around and starting to fight for the shots on the temple. Top lane is being pushed hard, by the way, thanks to the bruiser camp that Cloud9 was able to take. Again, Mosh Pit is potentially being used here, but first of all, it's Entomb and Void Prism in the back. Zeratul is getting attacked. He's still on 8% extra damage. The Wailing Arrow has been used, but didn't really hit anything. And now all those chain bombs, but again, damage against Leoric. He goes down 10% extra damage now on Zeratul, and it really shows the mosh pit is great, and they move in. It's a double kill for Cloud9. They take 2 heroes down, but they lose 2 in a row as well. 14 extra damage now on Zeratul, and Zeratul still alive here. It's a quad kill against Cloud9. Only Fan is surviving, and he is able to retreat. Level 17 versus 17. 14 kills on Zeratul. Yep, 14%. So, yep, confirmed by the observer here. And yeah, so far so good. Zeratul actually doing pretty well here for them. And this is starting to get a bit nasty, to be honest, because Cloud9, they have to take him down at some point. That damage that he dishes out, 40%, is pretty significant. I mean, of course, he wants to go for a lot more than that, but with the mobility that he has, he can really try and stay alive for as long as possible, thanks to that blink cooldown reduction, the wormhole as well, and first aid. The damage that he can put out is still pretty significant. It's 10 kills against 9, so when it comes to the kill count, it's still very similar. But we have now both of the teams without a single fort on the map. It's only the keeps that remain. And with those temples that are now claimed, there's always the opportunity of dropping an early keep. Again, Dream very much alone. I have no idea what he's doing there. Like, what exactly is that? So he dies. Zeratul was not with the team, so he's still on his 14% extra damage. But Dream, like, that was weird. Why would you... There was absolutely no way that he could single-handedly kill a target, especially not against 3 heroes. He moved in, wasted his ult, and sacrificed himself for no reason whatsoever. So I Dream now on the way back, as of course he's still cheating death. So we have also the mercenary camp taken, but there is still a boss on the map, and they actually go for it. They go for the boss now. I Dream is going to be back in a second with this Leoric, but nobody really sees what's happening over there. Hold Your Ground is ready for Tyrael, but they don't see it. They just don't see it. They're too late. They can't jump in time. Tyrael is there, but the boss is already taken. They did not expect it. Tyrael is taken now. That's 16% extra damage now for Zeratul. He participated, or he was close enough, and here comes the Mighty Gust pushing them in, and they go for K1 Pro. Already the bullseye used. Bam, down he goes. 18% damage for Zeratul, and it really starts to show. Dung Train uses the Divine Shield for himself, but if they really want him, they're going to get him. They already jump in, and he is going to fall as well. I Dream is with him again. That's 20% extra damage on Zeratul. Leoric comes in from behind. The boss is straight on the keep right now, is trying to burst that down. Here comes the Mosh Pit, and they are eliminating now Sylvanas as well. 22% damage, and the level 20 talents. The boss going for core, and this is going to be OMG tying up the series and forcing down Cloud9 in the second game of this setup. Very well played here. Great play by OMG. That Zeratul play coming through for them. GG, and the series is tied as OMG wins on Sky Temple against Cloud9. Game number 3 is going to take place on Blackhearts Bay, and it's Cloud9's map choice, so now they can really prove themselves here on the third map. We already have them in a situation where, of course, they were in the lead once. OMG started to turn it around on Sky Temple, which was the map choice of the Chinese team. Cloud9, they have now second pick and second ban, so OMG is starting things off during the draft. And it is, of course, a very different map. It's one of those maps where you can really play around an opponent and try to go for a PvE style of play. Zagara is being banned out as one of the strongest solo laners on the bot lane. Cloud9, they still have an opportunity to ban that Tyrande or just simply go for a Kel'Thas ban unless they want to play the same game, ban out don't want to call it a tier 2 hero, but not one of the priority picks on level 1, so that both of them are still available and they get at least one of them. They go into the Tyrande then after all, though, and now we have the switch between Kalthas and Jaina once again. That's probably what we're going to see at this point. So we have OMG with that potential to go into, they go Muradin first, and Cloud9, they can now go something along the lines of Uther Kalthas, for example. That's one of the things that they could potentially play here. The thing is, though, that they might actually go into a Jaina over Kalthas, since Jaina works very well with Muradin in particular. Or they could go ETC Jaina, which also works. You don't have to go into that Uther here. ETC Jaina might not be too bad. It's really a question of, do you want to play with the Kalthas or do you want to get the Jaina? Because the burst damage potential of Jaina is better than Kalthas. Kalthas then again has those bombs which after level 13 do significant damage in all of those team fights. It's really a matter of what kind of play you want to go for, what kind of play style you prefer in this setup, and Cloud9 has to make the decision right now. It's very likely that we're going to see at least the ETC taken, and Cloud9 could combo that off with, well, either an Uther if they really, really prioritize that combo, or simply go into Kalthas or Jaina to get a bit of solid damage in as well. But that Muradin early pick here for OMG allows them to have already a heavy frontliner. And I don't know how about you guys, but I think that Cloud9 looks a bit worried here. They only lost one map. It's not like they're behind or anything, but I don't really think that they were too happy with that loss on Sky Temple that we just saw. And that smile that we saw already earlier on those faces, it is long gone. Fan doesn't really look too happy either. So for now, Pixels are there's that cheeky grin on Caffeine again. So let's see. It is ETC. Is it going to be the Jaina or is it going to be the Uther? Jaina it is. Jaina ETC. So OMG can now go into a Kalthas plus. I suppose they could go Uther here. Kalthas Uther would already help them with a very solid start into the game so that they can run a melee assassin if they want to. And a couple of melee assassins that actually are very solid on this map are, well, you can play a Sonya here to get access to the camps. You can play an Illidan even. We've seen Illidan games. It was actually against Cloud9 the last time that we saw him. And if you already have Muradin and maybe secure that Sylvanas for yourself as well, then Illidan can be very strong since there's very little counterplay to him. But melee assassins that are a bit more popular these days are, for example, Thrall. Thrall can be used too. It's all about like taking those coins, and that's especially where heroes like Sonya and Illidan really excel. They can get a lot done in these situations, and it's one of the reasons why we see them oftentimes being used. So for now, we have again OMG with those picks, or still. And of course, they talk about what they can get now. I would still be surprised to not see at least Kalthas, but then it's a question of what you are aiming for with your last few picks. Because an Illidan commitment, for example, is not really something that you're going to go for at this point, I suppose, because there's still too much counterplay that can be picked. Brightwing, Sylvanas would be very solid, and they go into a Leoric first of all, picking that very early so that Cloud9 cannot even ban that out. So Muradin, Leoric at those front lines, and a false stat. No Kalthas. Cloud9 could actually ban Kalthas out now. Kalthas and Uther are still available. I suppose that Cloud9 is going to try and take Uther, so OMG might ban him, and Kalthas can be banned out by Cloud9, and I think that would be a very smart choice to ban him out at this point. Banning out Kalthas would probably be the smart idea here. You could go for a ban on one of the supports here, but if Kalthas is not available, then it's mostly about the auto attack damage dealers that, yeah, OMG could pick. So it can be annoying, but you can deal with that. If you don't want to ban Kalthas, there could still be a ban on, I assume, Sylvanas. I mean, think about it. If Cloud9, for example, gets their hands on Uther, they could go into an Uther and a Sonya. They could go into a setup with, like, picking Uther plus a melee assassin like Illidan, like Tyrael, like Thrall. Thrall a little bit more likely. They can still try and go for Tyrael too, or like even ban him out. That would be another good ban here for Cloud9. They could ban Tyrael if they don't want to pick him himself, because they already know that there is that counterplay with the Sanctification against that Mosh Pit and the Blizzard. So Tyrael would be a decent ban as well. Kalthas ban, Tyrael ban, two very, very solid ones at this point. Could go into Sylvanas if you don't plan to play with her yourself. It depends all a bit on what OMG is going to ban out here. If they ban the Uther, that's of course going to shake things up a little bit. But it is a Sylvanas ban. Yes, Sylvanas is indeed banned, so Tyrael is still in play. That means that we could see Cloud9 with the Tyrael pick here now. That is very, very solid. Uther could be banned out. The thing is that OMG can only ban one of the two, right? They can either ban the Tyrael or they can ban Uther. And they ban an Abathar. Alright, that's interesting. Abathar ban works in the sense that it of course denies the copy on Jaina. That's pretty sweet, but still, it's going to be a little bit iffy now with that Divine Shield Mosh Pit and even maybe that, that Sanctification that could be used with Ethereal. And Ethereal plus ETC is definitely a solid comp that we see quite a lot. Abathar, of course, not too bad as a ban here. But still, that allows Cloud9 to get a lot of very, very solid heroes at this point. And yeah, what are they going to run with? I would definitely commit to the Uther. They could go for both, to be honest with you. They could go Uther and Terra. They might be a bit overkill, but then you're in a super safe position to go for a very heavy damage dealer. Then, in the end of the draft, you can go either commit to a Reyna, to a Vala, or you can just simply go for that melee assassin that we've been talking about. But yeah, they have all the options at this point. The thing is, if they don't take Tyrael, they allow OMG to go into Tyrael, which is unlikely still, because they already have a double front line. So you could risk it. But the potential is still there. I mean, we've seen these situations. It's a Zeratul pick for them now. All right, Zeratul and Uther. So the Uther was more or less a given. The Zeratul is already interesting, since it, of course, helps you to zone. I want to point it out again. We have seen Shadow Assault plus Divine Shield. That has been a thing. And it can usually guarantee you a kill against the opponent. So that could be happening here. But Void Prism allows you to really zone during the team fights and just like isolate targets. So that's a very great tool still, even after the nerf, with a casting range. That resulted in Zeratul not being played for a long time, you know. OMG, they can still go into Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas is an option, Reyna is an option, Vala is still around, so they have a fair share of damage dealers that they can take. They also need to go, of course, into another healer, or into the first healer. They don't have one yet at all. And when we're talking healer, I suppose that with the setup that they are playing so far, Charism is not really the most likeliest hero to take there. They could go into that Rhaegar again if they wanted to, and wow, they are really starting to, I don't want to call it arguing, but there's a heated discussion going on right now about what they should take and what they shouldn't. Like, that guy is getting a little bit agitated there. Let's see what they're going to take. I mean, Rhaegar as the heals would be alright. They have a few more options, though. I mean, European scene would jump into a Charism, but still China plays Charism, but not with such a heavy focus as we see in Europe. So right now, when it comes to the healers, they could also like potentially add a Malfurion, maybe even. You can Moonfire and try and detect, of course, that Zeratul here. In any kind of other setup, I would have like advocated maybe a Tassadar plus X, but they don't have enough damage for that to really work. So there's the Rhaegar plus Reyna. That makes sense. 2 auto attack damage dealers. And Cloud9 now with their last pick. No Kel'Thas taken, by the way. No Kel'Thas in the game. Neither banned nor picked. And Cloud9 with their last pick can now add even more range damage if they want. Or they can still go into another potential like frontliner. They already have a melee assassin, but they could use that Tyrael still. Kind of doubt that they're going to do it right now. If they wanted to go for damage, Vala would be the weapon of choice for sure. I mean, she can really be nice there. When we talk about like a tank line, I mean, we have even seen, I don't think it's going to happen here. I don't really feel like cares too much, but we have even seen Rexa on this map, since you can with Misha and Rexa just get every camp on the map and play in PvE style. But if you want to play PvE, you wouldn't go into that setup that they're using right now. This is definitely a team fight setup that Cloud9 is currently utilizing, so I would be very surprised to see one of these picks at this point. So it looks more and more like we're going to see them going into a bit more damage, and Vala would be really solid here. But then they could also just like try and play it a bit more safe with the second frontliner. But I very highly doubt that's going to be something along the lines of Rexa, because that is usually just like trying to play around the opponent, and you need a different setup for it than what we are seeing here. We have seen earlier a Nuburax being played. That would be nice for the frontline as well, but it is that damage potential. As I said, the first guess earlier here is the correct one. We have Vala taken, so it's definitely her for the game, and that's a lot of damage that they have here. And that will bring us into game number 3, where Cloud9 is going to make a bit of a stand to try and take down their opponents. They already won the first game, but then lost on Sky Temple, and now an opportunity for the American team to once again take the lead. And of course, it's going to be an important one, since we saw them. Well, this is a loser bracket, so this is really the map where they have to showcase their strength now and start to take that lead again if they want to advance and reach the top 4 of the Chinese league. How many teams did we have in total? 12 teams participated in the league. We have 6 eliminated, so currently Cloud9 is in the top 6 Only 4 made it out of each group, and each group had 6 teams, so 4 were eliminated right away. And in the last round of the losers bracket, we lost another 2, so 6 teams remain, and Cloud9 is going to try to reach those top 4. And yeah, they have the tools, they have what it takes, they already showcased it. And even though they lost that second map, I'm still sticking with what I said there. I feel they look a little bit more solid than what they showed us against AHQ, the Taiwanese team. So Cloud9 today, if they really buckle down right now and focus on their play, I am very sure that they are able to take this series against OMG. The third map is going to be an important one either way, and let's find out if Cloud9 is going to take it or if we will have OMG with a lead in this series. Starting things up on Blackhearts Bay, our third map actually. We have to the left side, once again, Cloud9. We have them with a block on Zeratul here. Zeratul going into block, and this time they're riding the Fellhound mounts. We have to the right side of the map, Give Me More for Reyna. We have Reanimation. Also, of course, the mana reduction talent for Rhaegar, Seasoned Marksman for Falstad. And Muradin is, well, with that particular setup, he's very likely to go into the Reverberation build here. Be a bit surprised to not see that happening. Whereas the ETC went straight into his Power Slide talents. Block for Muradin. Look at that. So he wants to reduce the auto attack damage coming out of Zeratul and Vala. Alright, that works too. 2 heroes with block now in this game. Vala hasn't really committed. Normally we see her on this map very often with a multi-shot build, but arrow build does work here as well, so you can go for both of those. And the arrow build actually allows you to take those small pirate camps a bit easier, since you can just like move in. We have Vala as the only hero at the bottom lane. Everybody else is still up here at the top. We see OMG with 5 heroes, and it is a multi-shot build for the wave clear on Vala. So already OMG Wraith walking it out of this position, and Vala is taking experience. Falstad is going to fly down in a second to make sure that they're not going to lose out on anything over there. Yep, there we have it. Ripper actually canceled that fly for a second and repositioned himself apparently. Flies in and immediately pushes them back. 2 chests on the map now, 50 seconds in, and the bottom chest is being assailed by 3 heroes of the Chinese team. So very little chance of Fan to actually make a play here with this Vala. We have up at the top the gems or the coins now taken by Cloud9 though. So they were able to take all of them. It's a split, an even split, 5 versus 5 coins on the map now. And Zeratul still moving around here. Zeratul is going to be quite crucial the way that he is going to be played now in this case. So I'm a little bit curious to see how they're going to run with him. But already Dream attacking straight away against TQ. Stormball is hitting still. They need to be careful here. Like there's a very decent rotation happening. And ETC already is trying to zone a little bit for Zeratul since he's the one who carries the 5 coins. And Dream has to be careful. I mean, as long as he carries the coins, he needs to play a very cautious game here. We have everybody else for the Chinese team with a turn and attempt, and 4 of their coins have already been handed into Blackhearts. And now Fan and Caffeine both moving away from the bot lane. Just like playing it safe. Up at the top, we see also Uther and Zeratul still doing their thing and going for the experience. This is a bit of a, this is a tricky match, like, you know, I'm not going to lie. 2 minutes in, camps are going to spawn. 2 minutes into the game, you will have to see the camp spawn. 3 minutes into the game, we're seeing the boss appear on the map. And immediately as the camps appear, the pirate camps are taken now by Cloud9. And both of the teams aiming for the earlier level 4 to get that turning completed. Muradin is actually fighting down here, and the rotation against him is happening. So we have Dream going straight in, fly in by Falstad, Caffeine. They're going for the kill against Reyna, and they get it. Nice kill, and they are about to get a second one as well. The stream is lagging once again. The Master Warplayer has been chosen on Zeratul, and as the Circle of Death is still spinning, we're seeing Falstad fall down. Well done here. Falstad crashes into the ground. That was not the soft landing that he was hoping for, and a kill against now also Rhaegar rounds things up. There's still 2 coins at the left side. Zeratul went into the Master Warblade for the extra damage on the 3rd attack against the same target, not for the carrying power here. And the way that iDream has been playing so far in the last game with his Leorki, that is probably a wise decision to make there. Zeratul still, with that particular build, extremely powerful, and he is on 8 coins right now. Dream, wow, there's a lot of responsibility on his shoulders at this point. Caffeine is starting to move in now as well. They are trying to zone for Dream, and they seem to be able to make that work. Oh, no, they're not. K1 Pro, on the other hand, is on his way now too, and could use that Blizzard to zone, and that's exactly what he does, but they might have to give this up for now. Vala is up at the top, trying to soak 2 lanes at once, just like rotating from the top top to the middle, and Leoric is doing very much the same thing. The multi-shot build, of course, working. Frost shots taken on Jaina. And we see now Falstad with an attempt to maybe lure Vala into a trap and take her down to the bottom of the map. And up here at the top, the chests are spawning again. Zeratul with a turn-in attempt that would secure the turn-in, and this time he is going to get it. I don't really think they put any big pressure into the mid lane, and no, they didn't. So the fort is not going to fall, but there's no potential for a mule, so it's going to be all good. They're going to get the damage in, and 6 coins on Caffeine. Cloud9 is doing a very good job making sure that they get as many coins as possible. They went through most of the camps already. They're taking one of the Siege Giant camps to the bottom left now, and of course that barrage in the middle of the map is already securing that level 7 talent for them a bit faster, with now also for Zeratul, once again a bit of an adjustment in the build that he is currently using. After the Master Warblade that we saw, he went now straight into follow through for the extra damage, so the ability damage increase, or well, not the ability damage increase, but after an ability you increase your auto attack damage, and that is actually a pretty sweet talent to go for. The rest of the talents, well, first of all, you have Muradin dying down to the bottom of the map, and that's a 4-0 in kills in favor of Cloud9. Pause has already been started, and yes, apparently a bit of a problem on the side of OMG. We're going to take a quick pause as well. I'm going to continue when the game is back again, since these pauses sometimes take a while. So see you guys in a second. And the game continues once again, so we are back, and we are seeing that 4th kill, of course. Muradin is still dead, and this is the opportunity for Cloud9 to push the bottom of the map. They're starting to go in. Caffeine has 9 gems, 9 coins, so he needs to try and turn those in. At least he can't die, or he is not allowed to die, let's put it like that. We have level 8, nearly level 9 now for Cloud9, and this is going to be a very great start for them into this game. I mean, it already is. They are playing a solid work here. Level 7 versus 7, Lingering Apparition for Leoric, Fight or Flight for Reyna, and especially the Lingering Apparition, of course, allows Leoric to just push and be super annoying there. But now we have more structures taken down by Cloud9. They're playing a very solid game here. Muradin is back to action as well. Both of the towers are already down, and they are nearly on level 10. So they can really just start to push even more. The fort in the mid lane, of course, has been eliminated by now, and we have Caffeine starting to rotate over. He wants to turn in. He is going to get that turn in. It's not quite another barrage yet, but they will be at 11. They go for Ripper again, and Ripper gets ripped. There is the kill, and level 10 now as a result for Cloud9. They move in even against OMG. Dream is a little bit low, but it doesn't matter too much. Leoric is going to move away with that Wraith Walk either way. Bot lane, on the other hand, there's the potential steal, and no, they're too late. They don't commit. They're a bit too late for that. But now we have K1 Pro moving in after all, and they get potentially the kill against Iceman. He gets slowed, and Dunk Train, no, he's not close enough. He could have tried. He doesn't have the boundless conviction this time, or he would have probably tried to go for it. I mean, that was close. They could have tried to really move in, but they didn't. For now, we have now 11 coins of 12 turned in, and of course with that level 10, that super early lead with the heroic ability, they can now go straight down through the bot lane and try to push this in. Dream is stealing a few of these camps away. Dunk Train is zoning for him, and that's 2 coins that they have, so they can go for another barrage. That would of course hit now the top lane. Barrages always start from the mid lane, attack the top lane afterwards, and then finally the bottom lane is being attacked by the cannonballs. So Vala, by the way, fan, always rotating mid lane, top lane, mid lane, top lane the entire time. Experience non-stop by Fan, doing very well here. The entire rest of the team is rotating. The Circle of Death is already in play. Once that we see Caffeine moving in for that chest, he's trying to get the turn. He completes it actually. We have a completed turn in which will hit the top lane, and at the same time Caffeine is going straight for the turn in. But as you can already tell, we have once again that Circle of Death. Cloud9 games, they never fail in that regard, and we're going to go straight into our next stream that we are trying to get right now. So let's see. What is that? No, I didn't want to hit that. Leave me alone. What are you doing? Stream, go away. So yep, there we have it. Another turn-in attempt. I have no idea how to get rid of these silly controls down here. I have no clue how that's going to happen. But, well, guys, as you can already tell, we have still the barrage going on. The top lane was eliminated. They're going into the mid lane now instead, or into the bottom lane at this point, and are trying to take that down. But, yeah, so far, things are actually looking very good for Cloud9. So we have them in a situation where they are very, well, they will soon enough go into the level 13. And yes, I have no idea how I get rid of these controls. I'm very sorry. Maybe if we click this one. No, that doesn't happen, and that one neither. So yeah, pretty annoying, but well, we can't really do anything about that. So my apologies. My Chinese is not really the best these days, so I'm a little bit rusty on that. Now we have another one up at the top lane. I think gets even more annoying. I know what game that is. I don't need to see that. So we have once again the attack here. This is just getting really annoying. So let me double check if maybe another stream is better, because that is a problem. Yep, there we have the full screen. So let's take this for now. Okay, so we're back to business with a normal setup here. We have 13 levels now. The lockdown against Fan, and he gets completely slammed into the ground. Fan is down. The wall in the middle is being attacked. OMG is trying to start a comeback here. They got the first kill just now. We actually not miss any kills at all, but Vala dying here is of course a bit of a setback, and the Hyperion is being used to push in the fort here. They don't get the kill yet, and we have Cloud9 with every single fort eliminated. So they took down every fort that OMG had. Now we have that move in again by iDream. He starts to dart in and do a bit of work. We have Icy Veins taken on Jaina after going into Frost Charts and Icelands, and ETC going for the loudspeakers talent for, well, not for the loudspeakers, but the face melt on level 13, with now also Wormhole for Zeratul, and we see the Shrink Ray on the side of Uther. Of course, with that Entomb that we saw for Leoric, now finally OMG has a tool to maybe isolate targets as well, but he has to be careful with this. Zeratul jumps in, trying to delay that turn-in attempt. Iceman has 8 of those. Nice Void Prism. The rest of the team moves in, but Leoric is trying to make sure that Caffeine can't move in, and here comes the Divine Shield on Zeratul. They go for Rhaegar, and they take him down. 8 coins up for the taking. Here comes finally that Mighty Gustas Falset is joining the battle, but they still lack the level 13 talent, so Cloud9 has the advantage going into this fight, and Dream is trying to jump in again for even more damage, and down goes Falstad. Great kills here by Cloud9. The American team is getting farther and farther ahead in this match. We have now also double barreled, of course, used on the side of Reyna, so he has that. Yeah, 12 of the coins could be turned in, and they're collecting more, so we're seeing them on 14. They need 2 more for the attempt to turn in attempt, and then go straight for a push against that mid keep. Very well played, so now they have all that they need to go in for another turn in at Blackhearts. 7 kills against 1, Cloud9 with level 15.5, and if they complete the turn in now, they will, well, maybe not quite drop the mid-keep yet, but they are going to take the towers and enough experience to hit that level 16 talent, which is going to give them a significant lead in this game that they can once again use to establish even more map control and collect more of the coins. And we have them with 13 coins already turned in, Fan with another one, so 2 missing, and that's where Dream comes into play. He has 4 right now, but it looks like they're going to try for the fight here. Keep in mind that there's still a boss on the map that could be taken as well, and there's also a couple of juicy coins that we receive on the opponent's team, 10 in total, so that's an opportunity that Cloud9 has now to maybe steal those away. It's also an opportunity to go for the turn-in, because right now OMG hasn't turned in once, and they start to take a lot of these structures down, so that would give them a lead if they are able to get those turn-ins. Chests are on the map, and here comes the move in by ETC, but he gets stopped cold. No chance for him to go in. There's the Mighty Gust, even hitting Caffeine and Fan in the back. They go for Leoric, and they drop him. That's another coin that they can secure, and the chests on the map have also been now taken by C9. Cloud9 moving to the mid lane now, trying to get the next turn, and Dream is already on top of it, making sure that Blackhearts is working in their favor and attacking that mid lane here. Top chest also claimed, and the level 16 talent should secure them a double turn in now. Benediction, we have the stone skin taken for Zeratul, even more sustained for him. He didn't go into that level 7 talent first aid, but instead it's follow through for the extra damage, so he wants to have some self-sustain, and after block on level 1, that is the stone skin on level 16 now. Speed metal for ETC, blood for Vala, and numbing blast or northern exposure for Jaina. Unfortunately, since we are relying on the Chinese observer, we can't double check which talent has been taken here. We see Leoric on 13, by the way, with the spell shield, so he seems to have a lot of respect for the damage dealers and all that ability damage that is being dished out by Cloud9. And in the middle of the map, there's a potential turn-in. We have quite a few coins, by the way, for OMG, but they can't turn in, and that is an issue for them. They go for Dunk Train, though, but here's that level 16 talent. It's a fight with 5 versus 5, and without the 16 talent, this is looking like a bit of a suicide command that we see on the side of OMG. Here comes the Hyperion, though, and that can do a lot of damage. Caffeine is going straight for the Divine Shield at Moshpit. The first kill against Muradin. They get him just as he is attempting to jump out. A lot of coins already on the map, and now it's the drop against Falstad and Reyna as well. All the coins have been taken, all your coins belong to us, and they jump in with that nice Void Prison, securing the last 2 kills as well. Very, very unfortunate here for OMG. Great for Cloud9 on the other hand. They have every single coin on the map now, and that now leaves them with 24 coins that they have. 24 coins. The turn was completed, by the way, by OMG, so at least that helps them. But 24 coins and a boss about to be taken, that is more or less, that's nearly lights out there. I mean, we're talking about the keep already eliminated in the mid lane. The boss is going to start to push the top heavily, and with these 24 coins, that's an entire turn in right there, plus some extras for Cloud9. And of course, the boss is being taken here. There's absolutely nothing that they can do about that. Dream, yeah, well, he needs to be careful, but boss is taken, coins are claimed, and now the boss has to be defended against. Leoric is trying to just slow them down, but nice. It was actually a very nice move by Jaina, making sure that that Blizzard hits Leoric, so he's a bit slowed down and can't use that last second Entomb that he was attempting to use to isolate one of the targets. So we have them defending against the boss. That should be the free turn-in for Cloud9. It's 18 versus 16. The team is roaming around. Falstad is the only one taking care of the boss at this point. OMG tries to deny the turn-in as hard as they can. 10 coins on ETC alone. He has no mosh pit available. It's level 26 seconds that they have there. Move in against QT or TQ on his Muradin, and Falstad is going to move back any second. Cloud9 might actually wait here. They might not commit to this. The boss has been defended against, and it would be a 5 versus 5 on even talents. Not quite sure if you really want to risk that. There's no risk since Cloud9 knows that OMG doesn't really have a whole lot of coins, so they can't turn in. So OMG or Cloud9 can just like roam around, get a few coins by themselves, going for those camps, for example, up to the top, where ETC and Vala are already busy, work towards level 19 and try to take it from there, maybe sneak around the opponent at some point and get a sneaky turn in. So if they just wait a bit longer, and by that time, they should be able to get a massive lead in this game with a level 20 talent, and then take it from there and go for a secured victory. That would be the smart choice, because if they lose a team fight, it can turn. It can really turn fast. The one thing that you have to keep in mind is that all of the forts of Cloud9 have been eliminated as well. Every single one of them. And only one turn-in has been completed by OMG, which means that their turn-ins are much, much cheaper than the turn-ins that Cloud9 gets, and the turn-ins would immediately attack those keeps as well. So once again, the fight at the bottom, K1 Pro. Yep, that's exactly the problem. You can't lose heroes now. So Jaina moves in, God knows why, and we have the kill against her. 5 coins lost right there. The core is being attacked, though, in the middle, but, well, it's not going to suffer too much damage. We are probably going to see OMG move over there with Falstad. We have one chest at the top secured. Both of the teams now with a fair amount of coins, and there's the turn-in about to be completed by Iceman and TQ. So they get the turn-in. Cloud9 is on level 9. This can still go very badly for them. This can still go extremely badly. Zeratul is moving towards the top of the map now. Turn-in completed by OMG that will attack the mid lane. It's not going to drop the keep, but it's definitely going to attack it and drop these towers, which will add experience to OMG. At the bot lane, nice move. Oh, that core, by the way, 87%. I was saying like it wouldn't attack the core, but nobody really moved over. And Ripper even had to use the Mighty Gust to make sure that not even more hit points are being lost there. So yep, there's the turn-in, going straight for that keep now. Fan is moving into the middle. 6 coins on him. Zeratul with the 8 coins is also starting to move up to the top. 19.5 for them. And now they go for those camps. So they secure experience wherever they can. Zeratul is doing the same thing at the top. They have 34 coins. Cloud9 has 34 coins now. That's nearly 2 turn-ins. That is close to 2 turn-ins. Not quite, but it's very close. Muradin, by the way, is still guarding Blackhearts. So they left one hero in the middle of the map to guard Blackhearts, and he can, of course, turn in those 4. But yeah, this is really a lot of pressure on the side of OMG. They need to make sure that they control the turning point. They need to make sure that they get experience. And talking experience, Zeratul at the top is still trying to claim enough so that they have level 20. And he is going to get that any second now. So it's just like 1 or 2 minions. Bot lane is being defended as well. And once that's pushed back and that camp is taken, Cloud9 will have the Storm talents. And that's the moment where they are going to try in the middle and start a fight. 20 talents for them. Double blink of the Storm so far. ETC could take it as well, and he does. Rewind for Zeratul and redemption for Uther. And here comes that turn in attack. attempt right now. So they move into the middle. 18 coins on Caffeine alone. And here's already the attack. Leoric is being attacked. He's not going to be there in time. And that is another keep that is going to drop right now. They're starting to move in. They want to get a kill actually against Leoric here. But yeah, that barrage is going to hit the top lane pretty hard. And this should be a secured kill against the keep, considering that a few of those towers have been eliminated already earlier by that boss. So for now, it's looking really good for Cloud9 again. OMG is on level 19. If Cloud9 plays that well now, they will hit a second turn-in. They should really go for it, because after that second turn-in attempt, we are going to see level 20 drop for OMG as well. And yes, this keep is going to fall. Fan is trying to take down the wave here. The move into the mid lane would be really smart. Cloud9 should use that advantage that they have now for as long as they can. Go S5 into the middle of the map, turn in again, and secure themselves another turn in. They should have the gems, the coins. It should just be enough. And yes, they have 20. They have 20, and Dream is already starting to turn in. There's no level 20 available for OMG yet, and that's exactly what they need. Already 2 of the heroes nearly completed with a turn in. Yep, there it is. Only Dream needs to turn in, and they will take down the last keep. Dream jumps in, needs to be careful. He has the Divine Shield, though, not even affected by the Mighty Gust, and Ripper jumps away, but right into the arms of K1 Pro, and there's the kill. OMG is forced to fight without a level 20 talent, and it really shows. A nice Void Prison is locking everybody down at the same place. Now they can dart in. Dunk Train, he knows that he has redemption up, so he can actually die, and that's what he does. He's trying to heal Dream again. Oh, but K1 Pro blinks away with a Bolt of the Storm, and ETC with a party time, but immediately stunned out by OMG. It's still the kill against Reyna, and this is the beginning of the end, of course, against OMG. Jaina is down on the other hand, but Leoric dies as well, and all the coins are being dropped. Looks like Muradin is attempting to get away here, but he, of course, has a huge problem. That's called no life, no mana, so goodbye, my friend. And Iceman is being attacked as well. They can move into the middle and finish the game now. Dream has 21 coins. They could have gone for a turn-in as well, but they didn't really have to. So at this point, there is no doubt anymore that Cloud9 wins the game. It is a perfect position for them to finish the map. 87% on the core. Blackhearts Bay, the map choice of Cloud9. The American team is able to complete it. They can go for a turn-in. They can go for the direct attack against the core. It doesn't even matter anymore what they do. They will take this game either way. Unless, of course, Dream YOLOs a bit too hard and, well, falls at this point. But yeah, they are going to secure this quite easily. Job well done by Cloud9. So good job here. They take the 2-1 lead in the best of 5 series at the Gold League. GG and well played. All right, everybody, we are back with game number 4, and Cloud9 is in the lead with a 2-1 against OMG, and we have the Tomb of the Spider Queen as the next map. Map choice of OMG, by the way. So Cloud9 with a very solid performance here on Blackhearts Bay. Now it's time, though, for OMG to play their map. It's their map choice, and therefore they might have a bit of a pocket pick here. Or a pocket draft, something that they try to showcase. Cloud9 has first pick, first ban, so always one team has the map choice, the other one starts with like first pick, first ban. And Kalthas on this map is banned out right away. That allows, of course, OMG to ban out the Tyrande here if they don't want to go up against her. Muradin ban has so far been one of the main themes when we are talking about the first ban for OMG, so they really like to ban him out as much as they could, and they do the same thing again, so they don't want Cloud9 to end up with Muradin. And yep, therefore, we could see the Tyrande as the first pick on the map, or Zagara, of course. Zagara, very, very strong here. Can definitely play her. And she is being played a lot more often right now by the teams, and especially prioritized as one of the first picks during the game. So it could be something that Cloud9 is now going to try and use. But then they would give up Tyrande as well. And of course, if you give up Tyrande at this point, it means that OMG could go into Uther ETC, could go into a Tyrande with a Jaina, for example. Cloud9 might actually pick Jaina as the first pick here over a Tyrande if they value her highly enough. That's one of the things that they could do now. So yeah, things are starting to look a little bit better for Cloud9 in the overall score, but of course that draft is going to be still pretty interesting, and personally I'm very, very interested to see if Cloud9 is going to be able to just once, not make us sweat throughout the entire best of 5 series, but finishes the game a bit faster than that, because as far as I can remember, the last few games that we saw by those boys were always headed straight into map number 5, which was very, very I mean, like, I can tell you that my blood pressure did suffer quite a bit when Cloud9 was playing the last few series in a loser bracket. That was something. So for now, we have Cloud9 with a 2-1 against OMG, and also the Tirana as the first pick. And by the way, we had in the last game actually, no, forget that. We had actually a fair amount of lags there. We had that one situation in the middle of the match where it lagged, but it was only once. So it's getting a bit better. Maybe that stream is finally stabilizing. I wouldn't complain, I know that. So with OMG having the double pick now, we could see them with the Jaina. Jaina ETC could be an opening for them. They could also try to go into that Uther combo once again. So that's definitely an option that they can run here. We have their map choice, so I suppose that they really have a couple of strategies prepared for this map in particular. They take the Uther right away. First hero that they claim. Is it going to be a Jaina or are we going to see the ETC now? It's like the important question. The thing is that no matter what they pick now, Cloud9 is going to have a very solid second pick phase because ETC and Tyrande, solid. Jaina and Tyrande, very solid as well. And Jaina it's going to be, since OMG goes into the Divine Shield Mosh Pit combo, so Cloud9, they're not going to waste any time here. They're going to lock down that Jaina very, very early. And then with Jaina, I suppose that right now we could even see a commitment again into a Leoric. He's a great hero for this map. The pushing power that he has is awesome. You can play it with also, of course, a Johanna if you want to go into Knight takes pawn. There's a couple of other things that you can secure for yourself as well here, especially, of course, since we are talking about heroes like Sonya, just to give you one example. So there are seasoned marksman heroes that you have to think about as well. But yeah, that Jaina is definitely going to be one of the picks. I would be shocked, to say the least, if Cloud9 is not going to pick her. Zagara, still a very solid option, and Tacita too. Vision on this map is very important, trying to control the two turn-in spots. So as much as I like the Jaina here, I think they could even go into a Zagara with her. Jaina has been chosen. Is it going to be a Zagara? Zagara, Sylvanas, Tacita? Sylvanas it is, over Zagara this time. So Fan already calling dibs right away and saying like, no, I don't want to play that Zagara anymore. Give me my Sylvanas and I'm going to be happy. And there she is. So Sylvanas is played. And now we have OMG with the next ban. And yeah, they could. I mean, let me actually think about what I would ban out here. I suppose the best ban for them might be another frontliner. They have ETC. They can use a second frontliner as the next pick. So they could ban a tank out and really limit the options of Cloud9 in these situations. Maybe a ban on Tyrael if they don't want to ban him themselves, since of course they're aiming for a Mosh Pit combo, as we can already see, and Tyrael can negate a lot of the damage with the Sanctification. We've been going over this quite a bit, so Tyrael would be very solid for Cloud9 too, especially if they're going to go into a double frontline setup. But Leoric is the hero that they prioritize here. As mentioned before, he is very solid on this map here and oftentimes played, so OMG, they don't want to pick him, but they also don't want to face him now. And Cloud9 with that Zagara ban. Okay, so that makes sense. Zagara banned out. There's still Tacita around, which is very important. Picks that we could see for OMG, Tacita, Sonya would be a very melee-heavy setup, but very aggressive, and you could still go for an auto-attack damage dealer then on the last pick. Falstad and Reyna are both available, as is Vala, but if you're talking about seasoned marksman heroes, then of course Falstad, the Bird, and Reyna himself, good old Jimmy, those would be the priority picks. So if you want to play with a Sylvanas comp, you have to kind of start and drop that now. But we haven't really seen too much Sonya played yet. We saw it banned a few times. But any kind of like even melee assassin together with that Uther and the Divine Shield would be pretty sweet. And they start with the Vala here. They want to have a bit of lane pressure. One seasoned marksman hero is still being used. So they leave open the last picks. That could lead us into a Thrall, into a Zeratul again. Or into that... I doubt that's going to be the Sonya. I would have picked her a bit earlier. Cloud9, probably not going to run a Sonya here either. They could either go into a Tacita plus one frontliner or a double frontliner right now. That would probably be my choice. So either you drop a Tacita so that you have the shields as well. I would like that just because there is the potential that a Zeratul is being played again for OMG. They did it before, they could do it again. Tacita is going to give you the vision. He's also going to give you the vision over the turn-in points, and he's going to help you to keep a solo frontliner alive. And as the solo frontliner, you can go into a Johanna then. So you can either play Johanna or you play Tyrael. Both of them would be fine as long as you have the double support, or Cloud9 could just like mix things up completely and say, okay, we're going to play a double frontliner here. So both of these options would be solid, and I would like that a lot. That would be a very nice adjustment to the setup that they already have. You could have a lot of potential with like stun into stun. You have the damage output from a Jaina as well. If you use Johanna and you're able to suck everybody in with the condemn, then you can of course like use that on top or like on point damage from Jaina quite nicely. So Cloud9, I would like that. I would like a Johanna here, and probably a Tacita together with that. They have the damage. They definitely do. And they could even play a Seasoned Marksman build here on the side of Tyrande. It's not as popular anymore. You sometimes see the Searing Arrow taken, but since they don't go... I guess they could play a Diablo. They could, if they want to be hyper-aggressive, they could go Diablo Tyrael. Diablo Tyrael would also be an option, or Diablo in general, if they want to play a second frontliner. That can work as well if they want to be hyper-aggressive with that Tyrande. But you can play her easily with that Johanna if you are adding something else along those lines. So, yeah. There's the Johanna. Loving it already. Is it going to be the Tacita? We're going to see the Diablo, or is it going to be a Tyrael? Those are the three heroes that they could... Oh, what? Medic! A Medic chosen. Okay, I didn't see this one coming. Medic on the map here, and that means that Tyrande is going to go into a heavy damage build. I'm not sure if I like it, though. I love seeing medics, but I think that the other heroes that I mentioned would have given you a much, much better standing in the game here. And we have a Kerrigan used, so no melee assassin here like a Zeratul or Thrall, but instead the Kerrigan with a pressure play. And that is pretty strong. I'm not 100% certain about that medic play, to be honest with you. I feel like a Tacita would have fit the bill a bit better, or even like a Tyrael, or if you want to play hyper-aggressive, you could have gone into a Diablo to have that Tyrande and Diablo comp. Right now, this is going to get a bit tricky. Medic can be great, by the way. Like, if you can keep her alive, the healing power that that hero has is insane. So there's definitely a lot to say in favor of a Medic. But Medic Tyrande... I mean, you can go into the medevac, I suppose, and just like jump on the other end of the map and try to go and get the damage in. Stim drone with this setup, who would you use it for? You don't really have an auto attack damage dealer that will focus on that. We will see most likely a multi-shot build for Vala, so a bit unlikely that the medic is going to go for the stim drone, unless, of course, Tyrande is going to go into a Seasoned Marksman and Searing Arrow build. That could work then. Then you could go stim drone as well on the medic. But yeah, this is going to be... This is an interesting setup that they have here. Tyrande with a second support, and therefore she'll go more into a damage build. Right now, you can lag all you want, you silly stream. I don't really care. This is only showing us King Caffeine and Ahmad, and yeah, that's totally fine. Like, we can look at him, like, just like lag a little bit. That's cool. As long as it's not in the game, I'm okay with it. And yeah, the game is about to start. So guys, it's going to be map number 4, and therefore potentially the last map in this particular set now, or in this best of 5. So we could actually see that game finish right now. Unless, of course, there's going to be a 5th map once again by Cloud9. But, well, for my blood pressure, it would be a little bit better if the American team would be able to make it work at this point. But OMG, of course, they have other plans, and the game has started. So the game is going strong, and, well, let's see who's going to take it. To the left side of the map, of course, we have once again the team from the US. It is with a Safeguard, the Trauma Trigger taken on level 1, and the Knight takes pawn. And Cloud9, this time they're running the Tyrael's Charger here. And we have now no talent taken yet on Sylvanas. I suppose it's going to be the Barbed Shot. We can't double check. It could be with the wind, but on this map, Barbed Shot is extremely powerful. Fan is going to run that here. We have also now, again, on the other side, the Ravage talents for Kerrigan chosen on the level 1. We're seeing, besides that, Seasoned Marksman as expected for Reyna, the multi-shot build for Vala. Also, that was to be expected. And a nice Iron Skin, also making sure that Johanna, of course, is getting away without being taken down here by Kerrigan. So the game starts. And we have, as the map choice is, of course, the map choice of OMG, right? So just to point that out again, we already have everybody rotating around. You have 5 Tyrael chargers. Nice. I really like that they're always making sure that they have the same mount, unless, of course, we have one of them screwing up like before, where we saw one single hero without the proper mount, and immediately he was attacked at the beginning of the game by every single one of his teammates just spamming the abilities in. As is now, we have still 5 heroes in the middle, and now slowly and steadily they're starting to just rotate around from lane to lane. And we have, especially up to on the side of the Chinese team, of course, that mid lane, top lane rotation, since they want to make sure that Reyna is going to get those Seasoned Marksman stacks in. That's the most important part for them at this point. So the attempt to just secure as many of those minion kills as they possibly can. And since they're also running the ETC plus the Kerrigan, they're attempting to get a kill every now and then if Cloud9 is a bit out of position with one of their heroes. So you can already see that Kerrigan is really looking for an opportunity to jump in, but so far there was no real opening, and Caffeine, of course, has also like an easy choice to move away with the Iron Skin. And as long as Dunk Train, oh, nice kill against Rain at the bot lane. It's the turnaround. Wow. Oh no, really? ETC is down 2. That's 6 extra gems for them, and they were denying a few to the opponent. Very well done by Cloud9. So instead of OMG, who are the team to really take these kills early on, it is actually Cloud9 with the double kill. It's pretty cool to see Dunk Train how he plays this here. He's always so far in the back. The maximum range on his healing ability is not even moving into auto attack range. Instead, we're just having a position where he can heal Caffeine, and Caffeine is taking full advantage of this, always being very, very slow to go into anything. Oh, but the lockdown attempt now, Kerrigan was getting a bit annoyed by this. Yeah, well, but Kerrigan jumped in way too far, and now she's down, and they're going for ETC again. Is there another stun available by Tyrande? Not quite. But yeah, Dunk Train with the heals, not doing any damage whatsoever. He's just saying like, yeah, screw damage. I'm all about the heals, baby. And he's doing very well with that. Early level 4 now for them, and they are still pushing the top lane here. So Cloud9 with a triple kill, starting this game off. Searing arrows have been used for Tyrande now. She didn't go into the seasoned marksman, but we could still see the stim drone to give her a bit of extra damage and attack speed. Snowstorm now on the side of Jaina. It's a very different map from what we've seen so far. So frost charts and ice lands are not necessarily needed. Instead, you can just simply go for the extra radius on the Blizzard to make sure that in those close quarter fights, you're getting the maximum amount of damage out. We have Johanna going straight into the amplified healing, and I guess it makes sense considering that she's the only tank in the game. We have also now the advanced block taken for the medic, and Morales is going to benefit from that quite a bit. It's all about staying alive here, and of course you're always a priority target for your opponent, and with that Kerrigan on level 13 most likely going to head into Eviscerate, you need to make sure that even if she jumps into the backline with a Divine Shield, that you have a chance of staying alive a bit longer so that your team can help you. Bot lane, Sylvanas versus Reyna now. The level lead or the experience leads that we see for Cloud9 is not really too big. Early game kills usually don't do a lot for you in terms of experience gained. What you can obviously commit from is that you deny experience to your opponent. But the rotations of OMG have been pretty nice, so they haven't really lost too much EXP, even when a hero is solo died on lane. Instead, now they have their rotations going strong, and we have still a slight lead for Cloud9, but it's nothing really that he can capitalize on too much. Again, Ripper is being attacked here. Nice damage from Dream, and he's also making sure that those towers are taking some damage as well. But the turn-in is starting to happen, and that is about to be a completed Web Weaver wave. We have, of course, also for Cloud9 a fair amount of gems that they can still turn in, but here's the kill potentially against Dream. He's getting healed. Condemn is awesome. Down goes the first hero. ETC is dead, and Kerrigan is eliminated too. What a play against by Cloud9. And they move straight in for Uther. They get a triple kill out of it. Unbelievable. They save Dream. Dunk Train is there with the heals, and they get a triple kill as a result. Now they are looking at level 7 talents. Unstable Poison. They can turn in, and they do. The blue team, Cloud9, with their first wave of Web Weavers. Frostbitten as the talent, and Battle Momentum. Yes, that is true, my dear Chinese observer. 0 kills for OMG. OMG, am I right? And we have Cleanse for the medic. Alright, so things are actually looking quite nice for Cloud9. Solid lead in experience. As long as they keep that up with that double support, it's going to be great. And Morales is making, like, she's really coming to play here. I'm really liking it. I doubted the choice a bit at the beginning of the draft, but I have to admit that this is working quite nicely for Cloud9. So kudos to them. It was a very smart move. If they can continue this past the level 10 when the Divine Shield is going to give Kerrigan more safety, then that would be amazing for them. Multi-shot build into searing attacks for Vala. We see Cleanse also on Uther now, and we have the, well, I suppose Keep on Rockin' taken on ETC, who will have to deal with those heals a bit. And talking heals, we have Tyrande actually with an adjustment here on her side. So instead of going for Lunar Blaze on the level 7 talent or maybe Battle Momentum, she went into the Quickening Blessing, which allows now a hero that she heals to also move a bit faster for 3 seconds with a 25% movement speed increase. That's pretty cool actually. With that, you can get out of harm's way, and I suppose especially Morales is going to be quite thankful for this one, since she will be a target once again after level 13 when Kerrigan goes for Eviscerate, and I highly doubt that she's going to go for anything else. The Web Weavers have done some damage, not as much as they were probably hoping for, but here's again the attempt to go in. Oh, Caffeine! He should have the Iron Skin ready, and he does, and of course, there's always a Dunk Train. Dunk Train is already there, and they deny the turn-in. They deny the turn-in. If they can keep this up until they have level 10, then they would be able to get their own turn in once more and deny that for even longer. They are still a level ahead, and that's pretty awesome this early in the game. But still, of course, the game isn't won by any means. Level 10 is going to change the entire way that this game is being played between the two teams here, thanks to the Mosh Pit ETC and also Divine Shield Uther for Divine Shield on Karrigan. Turn-in is also happening for OMG. So even though it's 6 kills against 0, this is not by any means a safe position for Cloud9. They are in a great spot. Don't get me wrong, but like still. So we have the Web Weavers pushing in, and now they have to defend against those first, and they can't lose any heroes while this is going on. Their level 10 is going to give them a massive lead, though, and a great advantage to deal with these Web Weavers. And there we have it, with a Blessed Shield, Wailing Arrow, already Shadowstalk being used. They're trying to move in for a bit of an attempt to maybe set something up, and they start to go in against ETC. Stun into stun, silence, and it's too late. He also moves away. Well, there was a couple of heroics that they just used, and it didn't give them anything. Stim Drone has been used, by the way, in this case on Sylvana, so Fan is the one that benefits from it. A lot of gems, by the way, on these boys. Already 41 on Caffeine and Fan alone, but here comes ETC at the top lane. The fight is about to start. Web Weavers are being defended against. Karrigan is at the front. 9.5 in levels for them, so they're going to get their heroic in just a bit as they drop those 2 towers now, with Karrigan just jumping from one structure to another. It looks very much like that level 10 ability is going to hit very soon. And we have the cooldowns, of course, getting ready again. There's the level 10 now with the Strafe, Divine Shield, Hyperion, Maelstrom, and also Mosh Pit. And that Hyperion is used right away. Right away being used into the mid lane. They go for Caffeine again, but he darts away. He has those gems. They need to be careful. There's a lot of gems that we have on those 2 heroes. Sylvanas and Johanna with most of them. Bot lane, by the way, the keep has been, or the fort has been severely pressured. But now we have Cloud9 in only half a level lead, and they would love to fight in the shadow of that fort, of course. That would assist them a bit more. But Dunk Train healing out the front line as much as he can. And yeah, they're still waiting for that Wailing Arrow, as already indicated by our observer, and of course the Stim Drone that we are seeing for Morales. Turn-in attempts are important now, and so far it's OMG that is actually trying to do exactly that. But we have now camps taken by both of the teams. Already to the left side, Cloud9 with a Bruiser camp. We're seeing the same play by OMG, and the turn-in attempt by Dunk Train now. They can move in. Caffeine is on the spot. Fan moves in too, and this is looking good. This is looking very good. That would be 49 gems turned in, and they get it. 49 gems secured, so just a few more and they will have the next Web Weaver wave. Still slightly ahead experience, and Dream with 26 is now also getting rid of his gems. So this is another Web Weaver wave in favor of Cloud9. They're already in the mid lane with the Knight takes pawn, doing a bit of extra damage here against the wave. But level 11 versus 11, and now that we have the 10s, this Divine Shield is going to be super, super scary. Not only on ETC, but Karrigan can benefit from it too and go really deep to maybe put pressure on Morales and take her down. And that's where the Quickening Blessing comes into play to help her escape a little bit faster. And of course, besides that, we're also talking about the Shadowstalk. But the Web Weavers are now finally there. And with that, they might be able to drop these towers in the middle and maybe head into level 13. Already Knight takes pawn used by Caffeine, and here comes that Blizzard. And as of course, they're going to get those towers, both of them quite easily, especially with Fan being there to just disable the towers as we speak. The Web Weaver at the bot lane is going to drop that fort. Actually, it has already been taken out. So they can either go for the main structure here, or they can just like rotate to the top and try to take a few of the waves there. And it seems very likely that they're going to do that, since they don't have the advantage yet. But this wave that we see, and also the towers that they could take down, would drop a talent into their hands. But they don't really want to commit to it yet, because we still have OMG meeting their rotation and starting to go in. Nice, Condemn being used. There's the lockdown. Iron Skin has been used as well. And Caffeine and everybody else. There's the Wailing Arrow. Hyperion used for the zoning. We have level 13 any second now. If they get the tower, they will get the talent. And they are starting in against the K1 Pro with a nice dodge against the Karrigan combo. Karrigan? Carry who? Which Karrigan? Exactly. Karrigan already dead. 13 talent, and hold your ground taken for Johanna. Speed for Tyrande going straight into the sprint, and the improved ice block for Jane. A lot of passive talents now. And OMG! Oh, there it is. OMG 520 is nearly taken out, but healed as he moves away. Great play there. Once again, ETC surviving. We have Morales on level 13 with a spell shield, actually, trying to play this as safe as possible. Dungtray is just saying like, yeah, I'm not gonna die here. And that lead in experience for Cloud9 is absolutely beautiful. They turn in again, and that's a lot of gems that they were able to secure for themselves there. So 44 turned in now, and that extra talent is of course such a huge lead. Cloud9 is playing a great game. They are ahead in the best of 5 series, and if they win it now on Tomb of the Spider Queen, they would end up in the top 4 of the GHL and move on to meet Zero Gaming in the next match that is going to be played tomorrow. So that would be absolutely amazing if they can actually make that play happen. For now, Cloud9 and OMG, they're always just like fighting again for the turn-in spots, and OMG of course wants to get their level 13 talent so that they can finally fight on eye level with Cloud9 again. The American team with good moves there. Caffeine has the iron skin still ready, and of course Dungtrain is already rotating over, making sure that he's in position to heal the frontliner. Is there going to be a shield glare? And yes, there is. No turn-ins for you, my friend, but 13 talents are ready, and that means Frost Shot. They move in again. Shrink Ray has been used, and also we have the Lingering Essence now for Kerrigan going to the shield talents, not into Eviscerate. Kerrigan apparently saying, hey guys, I'm dying too much here. Nice Blessed Shield. Divine Shield has been used, and now Kerrigan jumps in against K1 Pro. The lockdown and the kill against Tyrande. ETC is nearly dying, but always gets healed just barely before he dies. Of course, that was a huge commitment by OMG already to get that kill, but they secured it, they got the kill, and now Caffeine has to be careful as well. They were attempting to turn in once more, but the red team is a bit faster this time, and Caffeine rushes away, gets healed by Dungtrain, and again the grenade is being used to just push them back. Really nice play there. We have in terms of damage, the most damage actually on Sylvanas with 25,000, at least for C9. When we're talking on OMG, it is already just Vala. But here comes the move in against the camp, and we have especially Ripper in a bit of a problem there, calling his hit points pretty low. Once again, already Fan in position to just make sure that they are taking down that Web Weaver, and they burst that down within seconds. First Web Weaver is here, and then bam, it's gone. They can rotate to the top now to do the same thing with the top lane. Vala is not going to be able to make any big plays there because, well, she's pretty much alone. Everybody else had to well up and went back home to make sure that they get mana and hit points. So Caffeine zoning at the front, making sure that he's slowly moving back. He still has that iron skin available and just uses that in the last second. Takes a lot of time until he does that. So very well played by him. Down to the bot lane, K1 Pro on his Jaina is attempting to just like save that fort. But it looks more and more like they're going to give up on this one up at the top. Nice lockdown against Caffeine. He was trying to dodge it, but Kerrigan was just anticipating his movements and got him after all. Now it's up to the top. Uther with a bit of a stun. Again, the Condemn for the retreat. And they move in as Dream is joining the fight. Hyperion is being used. And here is the kill against Uther. He's down. ETC in trouble. Nobody to heal him out. He tries to go for the mosh pit, but he is too late with that. Already far down in hit points. It's a triple kill. Cloud9, they are going for it. And Fan, he wants Vala. Vala is there. Nice multi-shot though. Really well played. Vala might be able to get away. And we have also Reyna escaping into the safety of the fort. Great play there. But now the boss is open and they have level 16. Cloud9 is not pulling any punches here. They are playing this really well. As a level 16 talent on Morales, we have also again a bit of an adjustment. This time it's the system shock that has been taken here. So the displacement grenade actually slows the opponent for 4 seconds. And that is extremely sweet if you think about how the fights went so far. It's going to slow down the approach of Kerrigan if she doesn't have the Divine Shield. We have also the Cold Embrace now for Sylvanas. At the same time, it is the True Shot aura for Tyrande. And yeah, we have also on top of all of this now the imposing presence for Johanna. Nice moves there, and not only the boss is pushing, it's the Web Weaver wave that they get, thanks to the turn-in that they just secured. And first of all, they move into the middle of the map to drop another fort here. Great play by Cloud9. OMG is so far behind right now. They're 2 level behind, and they are going to be pushed on every single lane. And Cloud9, they are trying to go for a keep already. That boss and the Web Weaver at the top lane, they are pushing so hard, and nobody can really meet the rotation in the middle of the map without exposing the top structure completely. And Cloud9, they're already going for it. They have the Web Weavers pushing like crazy, and this is looking like it could be the keep if they really commit to it. They have the extra talent, so they could make it work, but they retreat for now. They don't want to fight here. The keep is still down, and they continue with the bot lane where they at least try to drop the wall. Great play here by Caffeine, Dunk Train, and their boys. They are doing an amazing amount of damage now with this Web Weaver wave and the boss that they were able to secure. One team fight one, and they are in. Nice ice block here. Very well played by Jaina, keeping herself alive. ETC darts in again. Good heals from Dunk Train. The Divine Shield on Kerrigan is nearly over, and she didn't get anything out of this. Nothing. Uses the Maelstrom still, but Kerrigan is now silenced, as is the rest of the team, and they are darting in again with ETC barely surviving. But, or is he? He could actually fall. Kerrigan is already dead. ETC moves in, is immediately stunned out of the mosh pit, and he is dying now too. They killed Fan on Sylvanas, but it's a triple kill against them, and it could be a quad kill. It indeed is. Only Uther survives, and now, of course, it is going to mean that they will eliminate another keep here. Not quite sure what Iceman is currently doing. Apparently he wants to turn in and tries to sneak past, so he could actually go for the turn in right now. There's a bit of a weird path there, but he decides against it, doesn't want to expose himself. He has 37 of these gems, was securing a few, but now this is a double keep that has now been taken down by Cloud9. 19.5 against 16.5. Cloud9 is in a dominant position now to win this game and win the entire series. OMG, they really have to make a gigantic play to come back into this one. Cloud9 is going to wait. They're going to soak experience. They're going to take camps on the map. They're going to go for level 20. Going to go for the Storm Talents, try to secure them to make sure that they have a massive advantage going into the next fight. And then they're, of course, going to try and turn in again. And they have a lot of gems. I mean, we already have 40 gems on these two heroes alone. That's another 19 on the rest. So looking at 59 gems at least. And let's see how much Fan has. I guess he just came back, so yep, they turned everything in. 59 gems turned in. They're very, very close to the next turn in here, and they are also extremely close to level 20, and we all know what that means. Storm talents for these heroes, it's going to be amazing. They're going to have so much sustain thanks to the talents on all of the heroes. I mean, the Caduceus Reactor for Morales alone is going to give her a gigantic shield. We're also going to see the Indestructible maybe on the side of Johanna. So yeah, a lot of survivability talents, and that's going to be great if you're going up against the composition that is being played here from OMG. So once again, moves in the mid lane, securing experience is now the key component. They might have to go up against the Web Weaver wave of OMG, but I think they can handle it as long as they make sure that they get the level 20. There's the turn in, ETC turns in, and now here's the level 20. And with 20, we see now Hunter's swiftness, and they start to move in. They want to go for the fight immediately upon reaching level 20. ETC is still there. He has the mosh pit ready. Water Elemental has been used, and the kill against Kerrigan to start things off with. Caduceus Reactor is in play. ETC moves in. He gets immediately pushed out by the Caduceus grenade. Very well done. The displacement grenade by Dunk Train is ruining ETC's day. Down goes Reyna, and this is going to be a wipe, and this should be game. Great Condemn being used now. ETC dashes in again, but they go for the stun against Uther, and he is dropped as they are starting to focus on Vala. Vala rushing away, and they go for the core right now. They lost only Jaina. Everybody else is still there. K1 Pro gets healed by Dunk Train. He's healing everybody out now. Not quite sure if they can actually kill that core, to be honest with you. It might be a bit close. Fan is getting healed now as well, but Vala is dying. Oh, God. Like, these guys are brutal. This is a slaughter that we're seeing right now. Cloud9 are level 20 versus 18. They got rid of the shields already, and ETC is just sliding from the left to the right to the left, and doesn't do anything. But the rest of the team is now starting to come back. ETC, on the other hand, is about to be dropped. That would be another great kill. They ignore him for now. They're still working on the core. They're at 78%. All of the heroes are back. They have to retreat. They can't make this work. Ooh, the stun! And ETC dashes in as the, well, blessed shield is used. And again, Kerrigan! Oh, she's down. Kerrigan is down. So is Sylvanas, though, but Ripper is just rushing away here. ETC is moving in again with those few hit points that he has. But K1 Pro could die now. A stun against ETC again. Nice heals. ETC is down. What is this game? It's just fight after fight after fight. 19.5 now for OMG. Everybody's just dying here. Both of the teams with like 3 heroes. And as I say it, we have another one being killed. Reyna is down, and now they focus again on Iceman. This is just not stopping. This has been an endless brawl for the last 2 minutes. Once again, the lockdown against Vala. She uses Strafe with the Divine Shield. Uther Uther helping her out here, and they move in again. They could go for the core once more, but it's still at 72%, and I guess it would be a bit of a smarter choice to just move back, get that turn in, and complete it from there. OMG is close to level 20 at this point now. Top keep has, by the way, been eliminated by the Web Weavers a little bit earlier, so Cloud9 has not won the game yet. It's 72% on the opponent's core, and they're starting to get the turn in now for Dream. Well, iDream is going for the last 2 gems that he has, so overall they should be still able to get that Web Weaver wave, especially with Dunk Train and his 9 gems that he's running there. They could maybe even go for Boss. I guess it would be a bit too much. The problem really is that OMG is back on 20. They have a triple Bolt of the Storm now, and they are quadruple Bolt of the Storm. It's only Uther that went into Redemption. Here comes the turn and attempt. Maybe they can get a kill there, but it's 5-on-5 on the map, and they start to jump in. Nice damage against Uther already. That Redemption's going to keep it in play. Again, we see Johanna moving in. Yeah, that 20 actually worries me a little bit. Let's hope that Cloud9 was not too greedy there and just threw the game, but they're still having a very nice lockdown on Kerrigan. It's a potential kill against Ripper as well. Johanna is still doing a solid amount of work here. Water element completely blocked, and that leaves Reyna alive, but they're zoning them out again, and they can go for the turn in now. Locking down with the numbing blast against Kerrigan, so this is not looking too bad. Divine Shield is up on the other hand, and that's an issue, but Caffeine with a turn in, and he's going to secure this. This is going to be the Web Weavers pushing in the lanes again, and now Cloud9 is going for it. The bot lane is already being pushed heavily, and that's of course where Caffeine and his boys can start to make a play now. Bot lane has to be defended. Web Weavers are going to push in. They're going to go straight for the core, and Cloud9 with a potential victory here. 21 kills against 5. 21 against 5. They've been dominant throughout the entire team fight scenarios here. ETC moving in again, but Dunk Train always waiting for ETC to use the mosh pit so that he can use the displacement grenade. Uther still has the Divine Shield though, so with a good Divine Shield mosh pit, they could get a lockdown there, but they are starting to move in again. Bot lane is already being attacked. There's the Web Weaver going straight for the core. In the mid lane, we see a very similar situation as we already see the entire setup going for that particular mosh pit. There it is, Divine Shield as well. Oh, nice ice block, and they all survive, at least for now. iDream is moving away. He might actually die. He uses his last second, he uses his Bolt of the Storm, and Uther is down. Redemption is going to bring him back. Johanna is extremely low, and she might die here. She doesn't. Well, there's the indestructible. The shield is procced, and Dunk Train is ready. Silence used by Fan with a Wailing Arrow, and down goes Uther. The core already at 72%. ETC moving in once again, and Kerrigan falling now too. This is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the end of the match. The core on 69%. They're moving in against ETC. They really want the entire kill. The rest of Cloud9 is already going straight for the core, and this time there's nobody around to stop them any longer. Only Vala, and she is going to fall eventually too. Down she goes, and this is game. We're going to see Cloud9 advance to the top 4 of the GHL. They're going to face Zero Gaming in the next round in the Losers Bracket. GG and well played. Great match here by Cloud9. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on KhaldorTV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.